Salute, Knicks family. The streets are buzzing. Welcome to the chat show. We shout you out. We keep it 100. Healthy Knicks talk. And what do we have here? The New York Knicks young kids ball out in Miami. What a fun game. What a night. We're going to chop it up. Where to from here? The rest of the season, we're going to look at the next 8 games. Talk about the draft, talk about the off-season. No topic out of bounds tonight as usual. We shout you out. Welcome the Knicks. Salute. Let's go. Hope you're well. You'd keep Evan, but you'd put him in the bench role, not trade him. Hey, I think a lot of Knick fans are warming up, if not already high on Evan Fournier and what he's done this season. Congratulations to Evan for breaking the New York Knicks 3-point shooting record, passing the legend John Starks. Nice season from Evan, you know. Talk about ebbs and flows, man. Evan Fournier, he's been through it. Not a solid defender, but can hold his own at times. But man, is he been a sharpshooter and a sniper. And I think his contract, you know, is going to be tough to move, like you said, Knicks. But I think, you know, having him around for another year or two, I wouldn't be mad at that at all. And Randall and Noel have to be dealt. We're going to be talking about that all night. Randall and Noel, what the future holds for them after the New York Knicks put in this performance tonight. It's going to raise eyebrows. And I salute. Big task. What's good? What's good? I hope you're well. I'm well. Hope everyone out there is well. The Knicks finally picked up that dub in South Beach for the first time since 2017. Can you believe that? It's about time. Talk about it in the most unlikely fashions as well. Come from behind. You know, I want you all to rate this win, you know, tonight. Rate it in the season. Where does it hold? Where does it stack up? The way we did it, you know, come from behind, but with the young kids, spearheaded by Immanuel Quickley, 20 points in the fourth quarter. RJ Barrett doing RJ Barrett things as well, hanging in there tough, getting to the line. Jericho Sims looking more and more confident after every hit out. And Quentin Grimes, his burst out game since coming back from that knee injury. And Deuce McBride, couldn't be happier for the man. Finally getting some minutes to show what he can do. And how could I forget about Obi Toppin as well, flashing some moves, some signs as well. So this is all about the kids tonight, you know, and the New York Knicks future is brighter than people think with these young cats out here. You know, we talked about at length that the New York Knicks strength has been the drafting. They had themselves a draft last year. You know, it's just going to take more and more time for it to show. But these kids from last season, Grimes, Deuce, Sims,
I mean, possibly Rokas in the future as well. You know, the New York Knicks picked up a plethora of pieces for the future. Some of them might be used in a trade. Some of them might be here for the long haul. But yeah, the future is brighter than people think. And I think, you know, tonight just showed it. You know, we took it to Miami. It always feels sweet to win in South Beach. Don't it feel good? And the Knicks says, I believe Burks and Mitch would be easy to move. And I believe I have the guard we need on the Knicks. Jordan Poole, is that 6'4", primary ball handler. Golden State doesn't have the bucks to pay him as well. What the Knicks could offer, yeah, that's going to be interesting. The Knicks, Jordan Poole raising eyebrows around the league, absolutely. Um, yeah, and you know, the New York Knicks have flexibility, like you're saying. You know, we do need to go out there and get that guard, though. Exactly. I like where you're headed with that. The New York Knicks, obviously, you know, Rokas, you know, overseas. We don't know what the future holds for him, but Deuce McBride, let's hope he gets a ton of burn for the rest of this season. And of course, IQ, what a stunning turnaround this season. You know, I was always believing in IQ, but for me, you know, the trick with IQ was to just let him play his natural game and let him grow. Right, you know, it's only his sophomore season, and a lot of people were quick to label IQ, and I was, you know, of the mindset of keeping the rookies on a rookie contract and then evaluate. So just keep them around and see what they look like at the end of their deal. But Immanuel, Quickley, it's nights like tonight that you see the confidence he has leading the team. I mean, what more could you say about Immanuel Quickley game ball tonight? Um, and because they're already paying the Splash Bros, Golden State are going to find themselves in a financial crunch. Um, you'd give them the draft pick this year and Mitch for Jordan Poole. Mitchell Robinson, you know, unrestricted free agency, the Knicks, and the New York Knicks obviously have a tough decision to make. But Mitch was big tonight as well, hitting some free throws, and again another beast on the offensive glass. I mean, sticking it to Bam. You know, Miami didn't have any answer. The second chance points tonight for the New York Knicks killed the Miami Heat. You know, it was a death by 1,000 cuts, and we definitely got the streets buzzing. The Knicks got Miami streets buzzing. Big task. Salute. Hope you're well. What did you think tonight? Who really impressed you? And obviously lately, these young kids have been getting more burn, and it's just been beautiful to see. Right, this is what we've been wanting to see, and I've been saying this since after maybe game 30, that the New York Knicks, if they had trusted their young players a lot more, we would be in a completely different situation. Um, you know, for many reasons, but I think defensively tonight we got after it as well. We swung the ball. Obviously, we kicked the ball around as well. Players feel a lot more free, a lot more comfortable. And you know, with that said, you know, the elephant in the room, we'll talk about Julius Randall. You know, what the future holds for him. You know, what Knicks fans want to see happen with Julius. You know, Julius Randall obviously has been leading the team with ball possessions. You know, we're playing a different style. You know, playing freer, moving the ball around. Players are, you know, playing hungry defensively. We have a different dynamic, being able to get out and close out and things like that. And you know, Knicks fans have been upset with the effort Julius Randle's shown. And go get Christian Wood from Houston. Yep, he's definitely could be on the Knicks radar. Absolutely. He's got 1 or 2 years on his $5 million deal, and then use Randall on a 3 or 4 team trade for a big swing for the D Mitchell trade. So appreciate that. Drew, salute, fam, salute. The youth are these dudes. By the way, did you see Tibbs' press conference? Yep, I did. It's all over social media, Drew, right now. Interesting. You know, we obviously know, as much as they try to hide it, you know, the organization, the players, it's second nature to look on the back pages of the newspapers, you know, social media. And Tom Thibodeau is always defending his moves, you know, always defending his team. You know, it was very interesting quotes, Drew. Anyone else that hasn't seen it, I think mostly Tibbs alluded to the outside noise, you know, everyone having an opinion, trying to divide the team, you know, on social media about, you know, young players versus Julius and this and that. But yeah, and he's saying that the fans and everyone needs to watch the games 3 or 4 times to really get an accurate statement. Look, at the end of the day, we're all paying customers. we have a right to have our own thoughts and takes. I don't really need to watch the game 3 or 4 times, really. I mean, if you watch basketball long enough, the eye test can tell you. And also nights like tonight just prove just how quicker and freer, up tempo we can play. And of course, it's not always, going to be like this. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to say that Julius Randle does not have any value on this team. That would just be stupid. But having said that, we play a completely different way, and something has got to give, right? To me, something has got to give, because Julius does hold the ball up. We play a lot more in the half court, which isn't conducive to scoring freer, and it's also not good for defensive, reasons as well, because we're always hustling back, trying to hustle back on transition. Drew says can't wait for overrided Miami Heat to get bounced in the second round because they don't have a star. So I'm with that. Drew. Older team, looking like things that could be about to combust. Down in South Beach at the end of this season. Salute John, still Knicks fans up in the building. Solid win. Yep. And how could you not be happy to see these kids get a shot finally? Right. Absolutely. Just enjoy it, Knicks fans. I know it's, frustrations for people wanting the best available draft pick, and I include myself in that. But it's just difficult to be upset after seeing young kids show what they can do. And like I said, I honestly, in my heart, I knew these kids were capable of helping the team win after game 30, when Kemba Walker was taken out of the rotation, when we were struggling more defensively. I felt like Quentin Grimes and Deuce McBride, could have really, really, really helped this team, at least play more minutes as well. And I think Tom Thibodeau's got to look himself in the mirror and realize, especially after tonight, and young players can only improve with minutes, can't they, everyone, fam, watching? Players can only improve the more reps they get. And I think these young kids just needed that chance. 3 L's in a row for Miami. It's always a great situation to see that. Yep, great point. Jimmy Butler tried to bully us tonight. The refs tried to help Miami as well. That dubious call when Deuce McBride intercepted the ball, tapped the ball. Kyle Lowry was standing in his way, and somehow Deuce got called for the foul. I mean, that was insane. So yeah, that was insane. Let me just pop the box score up there so we can see. Yep, top 3 easy. Yep, top 3 win for John. Salute. Yep, I got to have that down as the probably tonight is probably the second best win of the year. To me, the buzzer beater for RJ Barrett still remains, maybe opening night and the buzzer beater against the Boston Celtics remains just slightly above as well. And Drew's loving what he's seeing from Obi. Wants to keep him round over Julius. A lot of decisions are going to have to be made. Drew, chat, everyone out there, fam. Let's see. Julius has definitely raised his trade value. I think they may not trade him in the summer. They may go into next season with Julius just to see. But this is definitely going to cause a valid argument as well. Seeing a glimpse into the future of the New York Knicks, and just what we look like without Julius as well. Like I said, Julius has value. Julius can be a great player on a team. He can help teams. To me, we've seen quite a lot this year of Julius, and not the best of Julius. He needs to go into this offseason, if he's still on this team, and collect himself. Think about what he wants, and I guess how he can rekindle some of the effort and hunger and form from last season. A lot of decisions needing to be made. And of course, if that big star becomes available, Julius, common sense tells you he has to be part of that deal, going back to the other team. And Sims is good, and that's why I'm not worried if we lose Mitch. I can get on board with that take, Knicks. And Mitch, salute to him. He's balling out more and more and more. However, Jericho Sims, his age, what he's doing, he can hold his own. Can Jericho as well. He has a bright future ahead. And IQ and McBride, great backcourt as well for the future, for the bench, or IQ maybe getting some starting minutes for the rest of this season. Let's see. But Immanuel Quickley's court vision definitely improved. His defense has been nice all season. That's been pretty consistent. What do you guys feel like about his D? Tonight, that steal was the play that just had me out of my seat tonight. Knicks Nation, salute Sharp Powers, salute fam. Let's get it. I know you like the pace we played with South Beach. These were the best 3 games from Randall. Oh, man. Great point, Sharp Powers. Helping the team win on the sidelines as a mentor. And Drew does disagree with Tibbs saying that the fans were trying to divide the team. We were basically just spewing Tibbs the truth, and he was stubborn and didn't want to listen, and the fans were right. Yeah, Tom Thibodeau, he's obviously the leader of the club. He's being paid. He's the coach. He's always going to defend the players, and he doesn't want divide. He doesn't want distractions. But I agree, Drew. We call it like we see it. We're paying punters. We see it. We've watched enough ball, and everyone's entitled to their opinions. But the team just wasn't cohesive this season. It was one step forward, 2 steps back, taking Kemba Walker out of the rotation, then putting him back in when Deuce McBride was available. I mean, there's a list of moves we could go down the line. Fans only got upset because of these silly boneheaded decisions, and not giving these young players that were drafted a chance, to show what they could do, and the confidence they're growing with. And Julius and the youth are where we should pivot. Julius and the youth are where we should pivot moving forward. Yep, that's consistent. And you spoke on Knicks Fan TV. People are going to disagree with me, but cut your losses with Randall. Trade him for the 2 second-round picks. Obi can easily fill in the starting 4 spot. I think you got to get way more value than that. But I hear you. I hear your point. Or just the first, you say. Who do you think is the better guard? Poole, Brunson, Sexton, Ivy, or Fultz? So quite a few names in there. We've obviously got to get different players through different means. Jaden Ivey obviously knocked out tonight by St. Peter's. Congrats into the Elite 8. Jaden Ivey, still high on him. Sexton, I'm pretty high on. I'd favor Ivy and Sexton over the lot, but Brunson or Fultz would be a nice compensation, nice fallback. And Jordan Poole, I don't know if he's our point guard for the future, but I wouldn't certainly. He's a talent. The Knicks, I wouldn't balk at getting in Jordan Poole in here. That's for sure. What do you guys think? Salute D. Cool. Salute. Great win tonight in South Beach. The kids' party's on, run amok, and just has he got to be feeling good for the future. If we see more performances like this, they look like they were hungry and playing for each other, and that's the most important thing, right? Sharp Powers like Sexton as well, and you got to think he's got to be somewhat of an odd man out, don't you think? Colin Sexton coming off that injury, he's got to be in that situation where he might be the odd man out. In Cleveland, they got Darius Garland, or possibly, other injured player who they had was Ricky Rubio as a stopgap. It's never too late to hire Kenny Atkinson. And ladies and gentlemen, Drew, what did you guys think when you saw Johnny Bryant? Did you guys see Johnny and Bryant embrace Quickley at the end there, like he'd been coaching him up all season long? That was a nice sight to see Johnny Bryant enjoy this win with the young players tonight. And look, Kenny Atkinson, yeah, I'm on that train as well. And the Knicks says Sexton is very short and a liability on D as well. So yeah, look, Sexton, that is a knock. I think Sexton has fight and he has that grit. He can, with effort, can make up for that on the defensive end. Can Colin Sexton as well. And I think it's a shot we got to take. We can't go into next season without at least a solid point guard, a solid solution, and just go from there. They may not need to be the long-term solution, but just get someone in here consistent for us and see what we can be. I'm okay with IQ playing the part-time point as well, coming off the bench, filling in if the starter is injured or out as well. I think IQ is showing signs. He's not a pure point guard by any means. I don't think he'll ever be a pure point guard, but can he hold the position down? Certainly for parts of the game. Certainly if he continues to improve defensively, I think IQ still has a great ceiling. And again, I've been saying this all season long. Wait till the end of his rookie deal to make a full evaluation, right? People wanted to jump to some kind of conclusion on IQ, forgetting that it's his second year. It's only his sophomore year, and the guy has been on an upward trajectory still, with still ways to grow, still ways to learn. He's going to get bigger. He's going to get stronger. He's going to get smarter on the court. His shot as well, and plus the cheapest as well. Sharp Powers, he's the best scoring and assist, and plus he might be the cheapest as well. Colin Sexton, and the Knicks going in for Donovan Mitchell, Jordan Poole backcourt would want to be one of the best in the league, right? Man, sign me up for that. But look, the Donovan Mitchell thing, it's hard for me to really think too hard about it right now. Just we got to wait to see what shakes out in Utah. To be honest with you all, we just got to wait and see that situation. We all know Donovan would love to come back home, be in New York. His dad works for the Mets. He's from the city. He wanted the Knicks to draft him. His agent wanted the Knicks to take him. It's just what could have been. But let's just hold the brakes on the Donovan, the Spider Mitchell just yet. And let's see, it's going to be a hell of a trade as well. We probably need a lot of these young players to boost their trade stock, for a trade to happen, with Julius, they're definitely going to want RJ Barrett in that trade as well. So, it hurts my head just to think about it, but the feeling and the thought of having Donovan here, is just amazing. And Knicks have never had that good luck, that good of a backcourt. Yep, I can agree. Okay, and who's better defense, McBride or Sexton? Definitely, I would say the higher ceiling would be Deuce, but both undersized. But Deuce McBride, impressive, right? Let's also just talk about Deuce's recent stretch in the G League, right? He went back to the G League this week, and he showed out, right? He absolutely showed out. 18 assists or something, wasn't it? It was like 20 points and 18 assists. He's been consistent every single time he's gone down to the G League. So big ups to Deuce Miles McBride up in here as well. He's hungry, man. He looked juiced tonight, taking it to Miami, getting those steals. Like I said, he got shafted with the foul call on Lowry. Man, that was a bogus call for real. And I felt like the refs weren't respecting our players enough, in our defensive play. Also, Quentin Grimes, what else can I say? I've been so high on those two all season. Great steals at where they were drafted as well. The Knicks obviously copped a lot of heat, trading back in the draft last season, a lot of high ceiling guys on the board. But the Knicks did solid. They went for solid two-way guys. They may not be stars in the league, but they're going to be great contributors, winning role players, two-way players that the New York Knicks have needed for so long. We've always had so many players that play one side of the ball, right? It's a joy to watch Quentin Grimes dagger three and then also come up with a defensive stop on the other end. And then also the same for Miles McBride. I think the immediate need McBride needs to work on is his shot selection as well. You could tell he's sort of overthinking about when he needs to pull up, when he doesn't, and also getting separation, getting to the cup. If Miles McBride can get to the cup, it's going to be a really, really nice, treat to see and a nice piece for the future, for real. And Ashar says, unless we can move Randall to Dallas as well. Yeah, that's going to be a situation that bears watching all summer as well. You saw Julius on the bench tonight, a lot of the time he wasn't with the team. There was talk that he was, ready to suit up tonight. He had the quad soreness as well. It's interesting that they did hold him out one more game, right? It did look like he was ready to come back, but they held him out. It's going to be really, really interesting. moving forward. And of course, let me check on the schedule. Who do the New York Knicks play next? The New York Knicks will play the Detroit Pistons. Yep, on Sunday. Yep, the Detroit Pistons on Sunday. A matinee game. That's going to be, that could definitely be another win. I'm not going to lie. That could definitely be another win. And on the standings, the Knicks are 5 games still out of the play-in, the 10th spot. 5 losses more than the Atlanta Hawks with 8 games to play. So, not mathematically out of it, but also most likely out of it. So the New York Knicks, I feel like they're just going to continue to play these youth, play the youth. Let's hope. And I do not want to see D Rose come back. I've said that before as well. I'd love to see D Rose sit out. Why bring him back to take minutes from these young studs, that are just starting to play with confidence? Shah says here, trade Randall, Noel, Kemba, and a first for Mavs, Brunson, Powell, Green, and Hardaway. Well, that'd be a huge trade. Randall, Noel, Kemba, first, Mavs for Brunson, Powell, Josh Green, nice defender there, and Tim Hardaway. I'm not sure how many years has Tim Hardaway got on his deal, but yeah, that's going to be something. It's going to be interesting to see, Shah, for real, right? And you think Randall, if they do trade him, it's got to be a situation that he also agrees on. I feel like as well, just to make it look smooth. I feel like they obviously just signed Randall to the extension so recently, that it's just crazy what one season does in New York, right? Could tonight just really accelerate the process? I think that's what makes tonight such a monumental game performance, and the win, the way it happened, this young squad just showing what they were capable of doing all season long is what I've been saying. And another stopgap D, Reggie Jackson, 2-year deal. That could be another nice stopgap to see who we pull up in the draft, or who also may, emerge, on this current squad as well. And of course, like I said, Rokabitis could be coming in here next season. There's talk about that happening. Would you rather pay 20 mil to Brunson or Poole? Probably Poole, if I'm keeping it a buck. Yep. Salute Juju. Salute. Great win tonight. Got to feel good in South Beach. First time since 2017 up in here. Let the kids party. Let them play. Reggie is best friends with Paul George, and I believe he's staying with the Clips. Yep. The Knicks. That's interesting. What's been up, fam, man, child? Hope you're well. Hey, all goods here. Hope you're well. Nice win tonight. Great to see, too little, too late. The season's a wash. I'm fully focused on the draft and the future now, the off season. I'm excited still. This squad has a lot of great pieces for the future, a lot of flexibility. Evan Fournier's turned his play around. Salute to him. We'll get into the box score shortly, but yeah, just in general, just getting my overall reactions from tonight and moving forward. And salute Will. What's good? What a fourth quarter, right? What a fourth quarter it was, man. I got to go back and watch it again. But Quickley, Grimes, McBride came up big. Mitch was a great piece tonight. Sims played his role. Taj played a role. It was just beautiful to beat Miami out of all the teams, right? Even if it's going to mess up the tank, to beat the Miami Heat, that just makes it feel even sweeter. And speaking of, Manchild wants Randall to come back and to get that tank rolling again as well. How many more wins do you guys think we could possibly get? I know we have Detroit, 8 more games to go. Man, I could seriously see us winning a couple more if I'm keeping it a buck. The Knicks, would you bring back Rose next year or trade him? Good question. This is something I've been thinking about recently, and I would trade D Rose. I would absolutely trade D Rose to a contender, right? See what you can get. I'm all in on this youth injection now, and I think D Rose has value for a contender as well. Let me know what you would think. One left, Sharp Powers. Yep, and salute fam from dawn till dusk. Let's get it. The youth is buzzing, Wilson, right? The youth is absolutely buzzing. Fan base buzzing tonight. Running away with it, punking the Miami Heat at the end. They just had no answer, right? We clamped them as well. They went from hitting every single shot. They were basically scoring at will, like 50%, 60% from the field all night. And then you see it from the wire to wire in the fourth quarter. We put the clamps on them, 15 points in South Beach. We held them in the fourth quarter as well. And for the New York Knicks, putting up 38 points on their head, one of the best defenses in the league, the Knicks kids put up 38 points on them right there. We were outscored in the first, second, and third quarters as well, but outscored them by 13 points. Sorry, outscored them by was it 18 points? Yep, outscored the Miami Heat by 18 points in the fourth quarter as well. There you see Jericho Sims, salute to the man, plus 19, 6 points, pulled in 7 boards, 2 assists from the center, 1 block, just 1 turnover in 28 minutes, right? Jericho Sims becoming a real piece. And then, of course, Obadiah Toppin, 26 minutes, was efficient, 6 of 10 from the field, 2 of 4 from 3. Let that sink in. Pulled in 8 boards himself, was a plus 5. 15 points as well. Nice all-round game from Obi Toppin, getting up and down in transition, playing loose. Players looked more cohesive on the offensive end as well. What did you guys think of the offense and how it looked? And salute, yep. Reggie Jackson, yep, he's a legit dog. He's a leader of that team. And who would be the hardest person to bring? The Knicks, SGA, or Donovan? I'm going to say Donovan on that one. Yeah, and it was just great to see 3 rookies and 2-year player and a vet run out there as well. Fax Shah, right? Play free, play to their strengths, and also just play to their maximum capacity right now. Julius Randall, like I said, the offense runs through the power forward, and I think that's been holding us back. I'm not going to lie, that's been holding us back all season long. You know, when we play with pace and we can get up and down, we're a completely different team, right? We have shooters. Let that sink in. We have the franchise leading 3-point shooter on this team this season. Let that sink in. We have Quentin Grimes, one of the best sharpshooters the Knicks have had in recent memory as well. And RJ Barrett's 3-point shooting has improved as well, right? Immanuel Quickley can stroke it too. So if we play with pace, we fire the ball around like a hot potato, we can put up points. Look, 111 points. You know, remember that stretch throughout the year when we were dead set struggling to score 90 every single night. Now we're just scoring with ease as well, and against one of the best defense in the league as well. It was amazing to watch. And like Will says, all the sweeter that it was against Miami, and they wanted this game after that kerfuffle last game. Yep, facts. That made it even better, and the fact that we came from behind, Will and chat as well, that was just beautiful to see. It was a coming out party from Immanuel Quickley tonight. I feel like this takes him to the next level. A game like this, right? His confidence is just going to grow. And like D says, yeah, some of my favorite plays from tonight were the 2 steals from IQ and the 2 steals from McBride. They were huge. Absolutely great point there. No lie. I love that breakaway steal from IQ. A selfish part of me would have just loved if IQ had been able to slam that down. You know, it just seems like IQ can't get that elevation to throw one down, but we know Deuce McBride can throw it down as well. We're gonna see that very, very soon if he continues to play more of these minutes. And Ashar says, if I had the choice, I would look at DeJounte Murray from the Spurs before Mitchell or SGA. Yep. I think he would definitely be had for cheaper as well. Salute Ed. Salute what happened with the kids, especially Deuce, Grimes, Quick Sims, is what I've been begging for from day one. Even from preseason, one could see the speed, energy, and the shot making they can bring. Yep, exactly, fam. And, you know, the whole fan base, you know, has been just screaming out for the chance, just to give them that chance. It makes you wonder what Tibbs has been seeing in practice. Like he continues to say, he always says that he observes, he evaluates practice, but yeah, our eyes don't lie. We see flashes, we see glimpses from this young squad and what they can do. And exactly like what you said, you hit the nail there with the speed, moving up and down, speed on offense and defense, getting out, closing out, running up the court in transition, and the energy and the shot making as well, spraying the ball around to the shooters, and above all else, to me, they just seem like they fit. The parts fit more as well. You have a flashing power forward in Obi Toppin that can flash to the rim. He can roll. He can pick and pop. He can get up and down quicker than Julius. That fits what this squad needs more, I think, at this point in time, right? Without a true floor general in the half court set, we've always needed a squad, a power forward that can get up and down real quick, right there for real. And you guys are on fire. Salute up in here. Let's enjoy this night, this win. Let's chop it up. A big task. I would trade Rose to the contender. Yep, I agree. Love me some Rose, but it would be selfish and non-productive to keep him here. And plus, Rose is injury prone. Yep, you've got to factor in that too. Big task. Great point. You never know when Rose, touch wood, when the next injury could happen, right? And why not trade him now when the value might be higher on the dollar as well as his deal continues to elapse, and he might be more enticing to some contenders as well. And Quickley played with inspiration, right? He did. You could tell this has just been bottling up. This squad has been wanting to have this feel good win, right, where all the pieces gel, and like Shah says, running with pace. And Will says the Deuce sequence when he got the strip and then he took it coast to coast, slicing and dicing 3 Miami defenders straight fire as well. Yeah, I thought he was going to get blocked, but he was just too quick. Like you said, he was slicing and dicing, in the words of Clyde. And what would have made my night if he had yammed that on 3 Miami defenders, man. My vocal cords may never have been the same after that. And this chat is straight buzzing. Salute. Yep, Knicks buzz. Hit the like button for your cuz, and let's get it. If Ed says if RJ would have had his usual game of lately, this would have been a blowout. Plus the Heat were double teaming and the blitzing as well. Yeah. And what was your most sort of satisfying part of tonight? For me, not taking away the players or the performance, but what was satisfying to me was something we rarely ever see, right? And that was Eric Spoelstra flustered. Seeing Eric Spoelstra angry and flustered just made my night, right? That guy's had the wood on us since day one, since going back like 17 years ago, right? And seeing him hot and bothered just made my night, man. Challenging calls and all that. Just something we never really see from Miami, right? That brought a smile to my face. I can't lie. And Shah says, big up IQ, 20-point fourth quarter game ball. Yep, fourth quarter man, 20 points. Right, he's dangerous. And just off that point, everyone, there was talk about the trade deadline. Teams calling the Knicks. A lot of teams mentioning IQ when they were calling the Knicks, right? So these other teams knew. These other teams know talent. They know that Immanuel Quickley has some talent in this league in the future if used right. And that's why you saw teams call the Knicks at the trade deadline. You always want to see which players the other teams value, and that tells you really who's got a bright future in this, on this team. And do we pay Mitch if we cannot get rid of Noel's? It's going to be interesting. Yeah, I think Mitch, it could be a sign and trade. Salute L, salute, big win, big win, big win. Let's enjoy it tonight, man. The youth showed out tonight, something we've been crying out for a long time. And now we've seen it, the world's seen it, Miami's seen it. There's no hiding it no more, right? It's like a freight train. These kids can play, like they can play NBA ball. They have skill sets. Obi Toppin, I like that little, pick and pop. When he took the man off the dribble as well, he flashed, he pulled up, that little baby jumper as well. That was another nice move. And Shah brings up a great point. Pay Flex, pay Star J, and pay Reddish as well. Yeah, Reddish is another one that would have made tonight even better if Cam Reddish was out there, starring on this roster. And tonight, speedy recovery for Cam, but at least it's nothing serious. Good point from the Knicks as well. Rose could be a good coach, locker room presence as well. Yep, that's underrated. Definitely underrated. My worry is if Tom Thibodeau is still here, he's going to push D Rose to play a lot of minutes as well. So look, something's got to give. Something's got to give. And I think tonight shows us, anyone has that same argument, and Leon's argument, maybe Worldwide West's argument to Tibbs, saying, hey, we're not on the right timeline. Let's look closer at this youth movement because, they can really bowl. Like they can bowl. And Bonson up in here, salute. What a game, what a win. And the kids balled out. Yep. Happy for everyone tonight, to enjoy this. And this is what a sensible organization does. Sprinkle in a little vet magic on top of youthful energy, right? Taj Gibson, perfect role tonight, played the role, 22 minutes. That's what you need. A little bit of sprinkled in of Evan Fournier and a little bit of sprinkle in of Burks, and the rest youthful energy. And that's what you need, and you're going to pick up some wins playing that way, right? It's clear they like playing for each other as well. You saw Quickley and RJ hug each other, and Deuce, Obi get amped. Jericho Sims is still quiet, but he was smiling a little bit. You could see Tibbs even smile a little bit tonight. What did you guys think of Tom Thibodeau pulling out a smile or two tonight? Right? He probably knows his job's safe, but tonight was an indictment, no lie. And Spoelstra was pissed because of straight facts. He was. And Rose can stay as a utility guard off the bench. We don't need to overload him, but he can still be a valuable mentor and contributor. Yep, no lies, Will, no lies. And maybe D Rose will want to stick around. Be around family, be close to Chicago. That plays a big part in what D Rose likes to do. 007, hello, salute, fam, salute. Wondering if anyone heard Tibbs after the game blaming us all for the terrible season. He's a clown, credibility in the toilet. If he'd listened to us, they'd have had more wins. Well, hit the nail there. 007 Angelo, salute, welcome. Hope you're well. I've got to watch the full press conference. I haven't seen it all. I saw a little snippet of that too as well. So again, that just shows the defensive side of things, and we've seen the ugly side from Julius as well, the defensiveness. There's nothing wrong with admitting you could have made some mistakes, or you could have handled the situation better. We've all been in situations we could have handled better as well. But to start being too defensive, blaming us, blaming the fans for turning the team, dividing the team against each other and stuff, it's not a good look at all. And that last part, spot on. If you'd listened to us, if you'd played these players a bit more, they would have been even better by now. I think they would have grown and they would have shown even more a part of their game. J-Dub, no, we don't pay Mitch because we have to sign RJ and maybe Cam as well. That's another great point too. I mean, there's only so much but money to go around, right? Mitch and RJ are due for the bag next year. So good thinking, J-Dub as well. This roster ain't really close to contending yet. So how much money do we want to commit, is a really, really critical decision, to be made. If Miami loses the fourth game in a row, does it make their team combustible and most likely no chance to win the chip because they've shown that they can be beaten? I think, Heat are going to be still a tough out. I think they'll make the, semifinals or Eastern Conference finals. But I see their downfall being their age as well. They're pretty old. Jimmy Butler's got a lot of mileage. Kyle Lowry, we saw tonight, we saw exactly what paying Kyle Lowry $40 million can do, right? He literally couldn't take the game over tonight. He had no juice left. And we saw a young man's game, IQ Deuce, run them off the floor right there with that energy. And I love me some Quentin Grimes running the ball up the floor as well. I know you guys peep this too, but Quentin Grimes used to be a point guard in high school. You can see it in his dribble. He has a really nice, quick, tight handle dribble. There's Quentin Grimes, and he can push the ball up the floor real quick as well. For a shooting guard, that's very, very important as well. So underrated part of Quentin's game and Obi's game as well. Can put the ball on the floor. Spoelstra was pissed because the young Knicks were playing in the second half and fourth quarter the way he wants the Heat to play. This will be the same hot rivalry it has been for years going forward. Hey, great take there, fam. Salute. Yep, another glimmer. We know Pat Riley was sitting up in the stands, rolling in his chair as well. But like I said, it brought me a lot of joy to see Eric Spoelstra pissed off tonight as well. And talk about combusting. They tried to downplay the scuffle, but you can only read so much into that. There was something there. Spoelstra and Jimmy Buckets not seeing eye to eye. And Bonson Obi-Wan is for real! Exclamation as well. He can play for real. He certainly has value. I was so upset and angry that we were tanking Obi's value. The 8th overall pick, college player of the year. He had value. And behind the Knicks, playing 8 minutes a night behind Julius, that value was just getting tanked by the day. I'm glad the scouts and things are getting a chance to see what Obi can do. Whether he stays or he doesn't, if we do have to trade him, at least we're getting more trade value in terms of Obi, right? 26 minutes, efficient night, rebounds, scoring, nice as well. Obviously, he can grow as a defender. I think Obi Toppin's going to be an even better player as well, starting caliber player. If we are going to trade Randall, it has to be for a point guard, not an injury-prone Zion. So, yep, I'm on board with that too. I've been crying out for us to get a guard. No lie, fam. Let us know which point guards you want to see up in here. But, part of me after tonight, I would love to see these next 8 games with Deuce, with Quickley, play a lot more as well. And I just think that's a huge summer coming up for those two as well. And maybe even Rokas comes down. But we got to address the guard situation, no lie. And J Dub says Zion is a transcendent player. We have to make that happen as well. And it's funny you guys bring up Zion now. Did you guys see the videos this week? The videos of Zion now being put out there of him bouncing around the gym now, showing that he's healthy as well. So that's going to be interesting to see if he can get back on the court and start producing. It's going to be real interesting as well. And Ed says that was Berman that baited Tibbs by bringing up social media, and Tibbs took the bait. Okay, I got to see that. I didn't see who asked the question, but you're saying it was Berman. I've got to check that out. But I'm not surprised by Tibbs's response yet either as well. He's going to defend Julius. He's going to defend Burks, all of those guys. And Will says our 2 biggest wins this season, last 2 games, the one wire-to-wire and the 117-point comeback against the number 1 in the East without Julius as well. Yep. Definitely could be in the top 5 for me. I think the 2 comebacks against Boston were big wins as well, big statement wins. And we need to play the youth, no lie. Let's not be fooled. We still need a young star to place next to RJ. We need to take that next big step. Yep, great points, J-Dub. Looking ahead, good take. We're still ways to go, but we're laying foundations, and that's what's got me excited. Another big draft coming up, which I'm excited about. More coverage coming your way. It's going to be a big draft for the New York Knicks, whether we pull off a huge trade on draft night or whether we pick up a nice wing or a guard or whatever happens, who knows. But there's going to be some wheeling and dealing, no lie. I think we're going to try to get out of Noel's deal. I think we're going to try to get out of Burks now. you're seeing what Quentin Grimes can do. There may not be as much need for Alec Burks right now. If you can get a couple second round picks, more assets to put in the kitty, maybe we got to do that. And salute May 4th. We got busy for real. Exactly, just like this chat's getting busy right now. Streets is buzzing, gotten busy. The New York Knicks, great statement win. And, we're showing Miami that, hey, we're around for the future. There's going to be some games, some tough fought games in the future between these clubs. Last time it was RJ Barrett impressing Miami. I think when he had the 46 piece, whatever it was, and Jimmy Butler paid tribute. Now we took a scalp. We took a scalp tonight. Eric Spoelstra pissed off. Love to see it. Bonson, I think the social media has Tibbs feeling the heat as well from the front office and forced his hand to play the kids. Yep, not going to lie, that could be definitely true. The Jericho Sims move, I feel like was definitely front office forced as well. Because right after the All-Star break, what happened? To everyone's surprise, Jericho Sims was in the rotation immediately when he wasn't even playing. So that was definitely eye-opening. Mitchell Robinson, unrestricted free agency. The front office was proactively thinking about what if, and are definitely forcing some hand. And Randall looked like Pepto-Bismol. He got to go. Peeping Randall on the bench with that situation. Yeah, love me some 6'6" athletic point guards like the Ball brothers as well. Yep, who doesn't love a big point guard as well? They can get up and down. And I feel like obviously Deuce McBride's a little undersized. Quickley's a little undersized, but those guys can defend, and that's what I'm happy about too. I've been longing for two-way players on the New York Knicks, right? Two-way players conduce to end up winning, and that's what we've been missing. We've been putting out players that play one side of the ball way too long, and I feel like players that can get up and down and play both ends with the same passion and the same energy, that's just going to translate to winning. And like you saw tonight, no lead is safe against us because we can come back in a hurry when we get up and down, right? With the Obi Toppin look at the 5, Jericho Sims looking like a baby Adebayo out there right now. And Jericho Sims is raising his trade stock for real. I feel like that's looking more and more like a steal to the league because that was the 58th overall pick. Salute Canal on the road to the 14th pick. Yep, that is upsetting. But tonight we picked up the win, and it was just in the way we got the win was the most pleasing thing about it, and against Miami as well. But we will do a simulation tonight as well. We're currently in the 12th selection. A couple losses can still get us back into the 9th. We're only one loss away from tying 9th spot in the lottery as well, fam. But yeah, I feel the pain. We could definitely be picking a little bit higher than what we thought, picking up some of these wins. And the Boston wins were big as well. Yeah, big games at the Garden this year. Canal says we trade away all that salary not to pay Mitch as well, with question mark as well. Canal big on Mitch, wants to keep him around. Let's see. Let's see what this front office got in store, because Mitch is certainly, man, he's raised his trade value, no doubt. Mitchell Robinson's doing a great job at what he's good at as well. Rebounding, putbacks, being disruptive. Mitchell Robinson's going to find himself a nice contract, no lie. And he's going to find himself on, with a lot of offers from teams as well, right? There's going to be at least 5 teams go for Mitchell Robinson. At least, I feel like. Anything less, I'd be surprised. And J Dub says the Utah Jazz lost to the Hornets. I think Utah is getting a first-round bump. Look for Mitchell to be out as well. Yep, let's wait to see. That's a ticking bomb out there as well. They're built to contend, and of course, they've been flaming out for a couple of years now. No lie. The Knicks asked, do you think Golden State would trade Poole and Kuminga for Burks and Robinson? Look, Poole's coming up to free agency. Kuminga, for Burks and Robinson, quite possibly. Maybe we need to put in a pick or two. Mitchell Robinson's unrestricted though as well. It's going to be a lot cheaper for them to pay Mitch as well. So that's an interesting scenario you put up there as well. Everyone else, give me your thoughts on that question. 19 says we should trade Mitch for Brunson or Sexton and sign Mo Bamba or draft Jalen Duren as well. Yep, I like Jalen and I like Mo Bamba as well. So yeah, we got to be thinking of backup plans, ladies and gentlemen, as well. Whether you want to keep Mitch or you don't, we got to think of some backup just in case. And of course, like we said, the point guard situation, I'd favor Sexton over Brunson. You guys let me know what you think as well. But if we could get Brunson at a hometown discount, maybe 18 mil, maybe 18 mil. I know he's probably going to command the 20. Let's see. But the New York Knicks do have some guards, which is interesting now. Deuce McBride, Immanuel Quickley. You guys let me know what you think their ceiling is as well. Do you think it's just too early to tell and that we should pump the brakes for another year just to see what they're capable of doing? Do we trade all we can to move up to get Jaden Ivey, tonight out of the tournament? Some knocks, some darts being thrown his way as well. That's going to be, maybe a chance for his stock to drop. Bonson, players that want to be in New York and want the smoke, like RJ, is major. If Zion wants to be here with his talent level, you have to take a chance. How many elite players openly want to play in New York? It's rare. Some good points being made there. It definitely is rare. It doesn't take away from the risks involved. But however, like you said, if the Knicks have the right intel, they're comfortable making that decision, and a trade can happen. Let's say a comfortable trade can happen with Julius, with some picks, maybe some of the other couple of young pieces. Look, I think the Knicks are definitely going to explore it. This could have been the CAA's end game for a long, long time, CAA repping Zion, the Knicks relationship. They've got to have their eye on Zion for a long, long time, right? To be box office in New York, like you said, if he's healthy, this shows that the draft picks are playing well, means that we can build this team through the draft and smart off-seasons moves. Yep, hit the nail there as well. This is what I've been crying out for. Build through the draft, build slow, build methodically, best players available, and then try to see which pieces fit. I'm comfortable with some of the trades made. Cam Reddish, that was a nice trade this season. Cam was starting to look nice. I'm glad he's not an unrestricted or a restricted free agent yet. That's a big, big plus to get a talent of Cam Reddish with one more year left before you have to make a financial decision. I think that's key. That was key so that we can afford to use next season, evaluate Cam Reddish, see if he's looking nice, and flip him at the deadline or pay him if he's looking like that future star that we hope. We could pay Cam Reddish next year as well with RJ, with Zion maybe. But you guys let me know, what do you think about Cam? Are you high on him or not? But yeah, let's just touch on this box score. Like I said, Evan Fournier, not a big scoring night tonight, but he played his role tonight, just a -3. Taj played his role. Deuce McBride, 17 minutes. Right, look at that. 2 steals, +16 in 17 minutes. Let that sink in. That's crazy. Immanuel Quickley, +8, 23 points. Of course, 20 of them in the fourth quarter as well. 8 from 8 from the stripe. That's what you want to see, right? A player that doesn't fault when they go to the line. 3 of 8 from 3, 6 of 12. Very efficient night from IQ. Probably his best game as a pro. Probably Immanuel Quickley's best game as a pro. What do you guys think? And of course, like I said, Quentin Grimes getting better every night. 9 points. Hit the 3 critical threes. 3 of 6. His money from deep always. 16 minutes. Needs more minutes. I think let him play more minutes, and we can rock from there as well. Now let's get back to these comments. Chat's on fire. Salute. 007. That's all well and good. We have to sign Mitch to trade him. looking like we're losing him for nothing or the sign and trade. Yep, I can agree with that, fam. Nothing or sign and trade as well. But there is a big advantage for the sign and trade for other teams' perspective as well, because they can get money off their books, and give to us as well. But yeah, I think all indications point to Mitch wanting a new situation, but maybe strange things have happened. We're going to have to see. We're getting really, really close. 8 more games. We may just be seeing the last few games of Mitchell Robinson. It's a shame if it happens, but he's playing really well, and he's earned this contract. No lie. Some of the question marks on Mitch. Could he stay healthy? Could he contribute? I think he's answered all those things. He stayed healthy for the most part, and he's contributing and getting better and better and better every single game. Ed says the Knicks are absolutely loaded with great young talent, and Deuce has big hops, speed, long arms, and a football player's mentality, as toughness as an ex-quarterback. I'm not worried about his size at 6'1". Yeah. Did you see him sky high for that rebound as well? That critical rebound, right? He said, "There's no way I'm letting this become a loose ball," and he just rose like he had a jetpack. Right, that was beautiful. Pulled that board in, and that was game. That was game over. Yeah, I'm high on Deuce as well. Again, it's only his rookie season. Let the man continue to season, marinate, and let's see what we have in the man as well. A big summer coming up for Deuce, and 8 more games to go. Let's hope after tonight he continues to play. Shah says Bumba will get around the 12. Mitch may get 15. Would you lose Mitch over 3 mil? Yeah, that's interesting. That's a good point. Yeah, Bumba might get 12. Mitch about 15. And I wouldn't be surprised if the Knicks actually offered Mitchell Robinson the full amount now, based on what we're seeing. They might just say, "Hey, let's just go straight to it. No negotiating. 15 mil. Here it is." And then it may be up to Mitch whether he decides to stay or not as well. Unfortunately, unrestricted free agency can go that way as well. The Knicks are probably going to have a good inkling and a good intel already. I feel like Mitch and his agent, may already be putting some hints out there as well. So we may know before free agency hits about what he's thinking. And Will says, "Appreciate what Mitch has given us, but I really feel like he's not healthy. He looks like he's doing what he's doing on hustle this year, not his athleticism anymore. He will likely break down." I think a lot of that is to do with his weight. When you've been playing at a certain weight most of your life, your career, you definitely lose hops. And I think it's showing, for Mitch. Canal, salute. We have no say in where Mitch goes or if we trade him. He does what he wants. Yep, exactly. You hit the nail. Unrestricted free agent. He's earned the right as on the players association, CBA, unrestricted free agent, can go wherever the hell they like. Let's see. But if we lose him and we get a sign and trade, we get a nice piece. I mean, hey, might just have to cut our losses. We drafted a nice piece in Jericho. There's some other cheap centers out there as well. Maybe money may be better spent elsewhere, like a guard. We need guards up in here. And speaking of guards, 19, salute Sexton, RJ, Fournier, Zion, and Bamba. That'd be a nice lineup. Keep some consistency with RJ and Fournier. Zion's going to be one huge trade. Sexton, I think that's definitely a doable trade. Ed says, "I want to keep Mitch a legit long athletic 7-footer. One of the best offensive boarders in the league. Absolutely. And still growing as well. And he's relatively cheap for 15 mil. Yep. Do you guys just feel like they left it too late? So I know hindsight's 2020, but would you have been able to convince yourself to offer Mitch an extension last season when his value was at the lowest? Well, when Mitch was injured and in and out, would you have been able to offer him an extension then? Do you think it's just unfortunate timing? Yeah. And Mitch hasn't had a point guard as well. Yep, absolutely. Good points there, Shah. Sexton has an injury and may become an injury-prone player. Yep, ACL injury. I think Sexton's game's helter-skelter too. It's like D Rose, up and down, intense, taking contact. He's an animal out there as Sexton. That could certainly, affect his future and staying healthy, I think, as well. But, sometimes it's a gamble worth taking. And I think Sexton could be had on the cheap. Unfortunately for us, he was a higher commodity before he went down. And like Shah says, man, it's embarrassing. We haven't had the true point since 2009, right? And we need it. It's bittersweet. We have some nice guards on our roster right now, but none of them look like that flawed general, star point guard for the future as well. But certainly pieces that can help us. Absolutely. Deuce, Quickley, Rokas possibly. A lot of people are talking about keeping Fournier around as well. Fournier's experience, his shooting. He could be the nice 6-man type candidate next season. Let's see. Will says he loves Mitch too, wants to put that out there, but he thinks it's Noel. He thinks he is Noel next year as well with the injuries as well. And the Knicks need the players that don't have ACL, MCL injuries, and giving money to players like Noel, right? Yet we need to learn. We need to learn from these mistakes. And Donovan, SGA, DeJounte are those top-tier guards that the Knicks need and aren't injured like Sexton, D Rose, and Kemba, right? Yep. Bona fide difference makers, like you say, bona fide, that will help a team win consistently. Young players that we missed out on in the draft as well. Another reason to continue to build through this draft as well. Nothing is promised. We're always got to chase these stars via trade now as well. When they could have been had if we just had the foresight to get in the right situation to draft them. Well, and word was the offer was 12 mil for Mitch. Okay, yep. That's a fair price. That's a very fair price for what you're getting, I think, for Mitch Shah. And a peace, D-Ra, salute. Knicks kids running amok up in South Beach. And, it's great to see for many, many reasons. Yeah, their confidence is going to grow. Their stock is going up. If trades need to happen, the brass are getting a look at what the team looks like without Julius, with RJ performing as the number one lead guy. I mean, tonight was a monumental game that we could look back on and say it started from here. Tonight it started the New York Knicks, the next chapter, their future, laying the groundwork. Could start from this point on as well. We have 8 games left. It's bittersweet this season, but there's a hell of a lot of moves to happen. There's going to be this offseason is going to be news 24/7, leading up to draft night. We're about to miss the play-in. 8 games left, 5 games out of the play-in spot, 5 losses behind the Atlanta Hawks as well. So has the front office already given Tom Thibodeau the orders to play these guys a lot more? It looks like it. If I had to guess, it looks like it is. And 19, if we'd waited on Randall, we might have flipped him at the deadline as well. That's a great point. Again, disappointing, but hindsight's 2020. If we had waited to pay Randall, I know last season, he had every right to get the extension. The Knicks could have rolled the dice and just seen what this year looked like as well. But his deal is tradable. I feel like it's tradable, and he has boosted his stock a little bit, since All-Star break. But the temper tantrums and the other things, the other issues are certainly not going to help if they continue to happen. Let's see what happens on draft night as well. Wouldn't be shocked if Julius is traded, and I'll keep it at 50-50 still. I've been saying maybe a month ago it was going to be 50-50 that Julius would be on this team next season. I think I've still got to keep it at 50-50. It's hard to say. It could go either way. With more games like tonight, I mean, heck, James Dolan, Worldwide West, Leon, they could all be meeting and talking about games like this in the off season when you watch the film as well. if we didn't give Noel that contract as well, it would have been Mitch. I think we could definitely flip Noel. We probably have to attach a couple second rounders or a second rounder as well. I know Noel's contract was bad. There's no lie about that. However, it is $10 million expiring as well. That could be sexy for a team. To have $10 million that expire, could help us trade Noel. Salute, Quiet. Salute. Hope you're well. Hope all's well. Everyone up in here strong. New York Knicks, what a season it's been. It's winding down this season, but a great win tonight to enjoy from the young players playing well, giving us a glimpse of the future as well. And Daras loves that future. He loves what he's seeing without Randall tonight. And a salute, D. To be honest, I don't think Cam has a future with the Knicks. He will be part of a trade package as well. I've been thinking the same, D. I think you took the words out of my mouth. I think Cam definitely, I'd love to see him hang around. I think he has that talent that's worth banking on. It's just that our aspirations, our vision, the Knicks' goals look too big in order to keep Cam around and pay him as well. And the fact is, he still has great value, right? He could be included in all types of trades to get us that star we could look for as well. So I could see what you're saying happen as well. Be part of that trade. And Daras Fournier is earning his money and a keeper. Better playing better on D as well. Yep. It's amazing what a bit of confidence as well happens. And like Evan said, he's figuring things out with this team. It took him a little while to try to figure things out. And I think he's figured it out, figuring out his role. What would Fournier look like off the bench next season? That'd be nice. And May 4th, Knicks really don't need a star at the moment. You know what? That's a great take. Stay patient. Put in that star when all pieces are ready and you look like you're ready to top it all off. But like I've been saying, build through the draft. Let these players season, marinate, and grow until when they look like they're ready, then you swing for the fences. And J-Dub, I think we lose Mitch and we draft Duren. I could see that happening because his stock's rising. If we pick around the 11, 12, 13, 14 range, that's exactly where he's slated as well. So that could be a solution. Yep, I'm all about solutions, You guys spitting knowledge. Knicks have the key pieces in place. Just get a little taller and we will be fine as well. Definitely some pieces, some untapped potential, I'd say, including Cam Reddish. He's definitely one of them, Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to see him, in these last 15 games, but in these next 8 games, but in these past 15 games since he went down. And I think the summer is going to be critical if he doesn't get traded draft night. But the key pieces, the Knicks have them. We have the picks. We have something like 7 first-round picks in the next 6 years. It's a beautiful position to be in. Let's just be patient. Let's not try to, commit too much money and go for these win now short-sighted moves. Let's just be patient. Let these young players on this roster grow. Because if one of them pops next to RJ, if it's Obi, if it's Quickley, Grimes, McBride, Sims, if a couple of these players really pop next to RJ, then that can change the landscape real quick. And done Knicks. I'm ready for the season to be over. That's when the true season starts. Go Knicks as well. Yep. That is when winning is done. Winning is built. Winning habits, winning roster. And like you said, there's only one team that wins the chip, right? Let's not forget that. There's only one team that wins the NBA championship. For everyone else, it's back to square one. So like you say, when the season's over, it's back to business, get in the lab. And no Sexton is up for a contract. We're going to have to pay him as well. I forgot about that situation. What's the deal with Sexton's contract? You guys let me know. I feel like if a trade happens, it'll be more friendlier than what it would have been last season as well. Salute Real King. Hope you're well. Salute. Let's go. New York Knicks picking up wins with the young players playing well. A glimmer into the future of this team, right? We have some depth now. We have some depth. When these two-way players are played, that's what I've been screaming for since game 30. I was going to pull up some receipts tonight, but I don't feel like I need to because, so many of us have been saying, when around about that 30 game mark, when Kemba Walker was taken out of the rotation and the Knicks were struggling defensively, we could have seen that Quentin Grimes, Deuce McBride could have helped defensively, but Tibbs didn't give it a chance. Tibbs didn't give it a chance. Here we are, 8 games to go at the end of this season, and it's painfully obvious now for everybody. It's painfully obvious. Sign and trade Mitch for Brunson or Sexton. A lot of people have been bringing that up too. That's definitely an option because you solve one problem. You lose one. You basically solve one problem with another. With that situation, you lose Mitch, but you fill another need at the point guard spot. So it could just be a win-win for both teams with that up in here. And I think they're going to keep him, unfortunately. Real King says. And Randall's contract really is not bad. No, definitely not. 23 mil next year, not bad at all for his stats. Someone may buy it. Yep, somebody may buy it, absolutely. Probably a bigger trade in terms of three-way, Will. What do you think of that? To make everything work, three-way trade. The Knicks could even throw in some picks if they got back a bigger player. But certainly, if you look at the NBA landscape, fam, 23 mil is nothing, really. It's nothing, basically. And I think a team would definitely take him. And if Randall makes the necessary adjustments to his game and backs up his ego, I think you mean he can make an impact. In the off season, do you see them doing quick moves or waiting for the last minute? I want to do a quick move so we can have our team practice all season for team chemistry, all off season. I see them pulling off some quicker moves this time. I'm not going to lie. I feel like they're going to accept the timeline that they're on, and I think they're going to wait a little bit. They're going to address the point guard spot, and then they're just going to let the other pieces cook, I feel like. And the Knicks, I wish we'd have given Evan around 14 instead of the 17. Just too much. Just too much. I think they gave him 19, the Knicks. It wasn't 17. They gave him 19. And there was at the time I thought it was a bit too much, but I did understand that they had to, they had to outbid other teams. There was other teams interested in Evan. But yeah, I feel like he's playing well now. That's probably the least of my worries, his contract right now. I think, you have tangible evidence in trade discussions that Evan Fournier has broken the franchise record in 3-point shooting. I mean, the man's is a bucket. There's a heap of teams that would want that shooting as well. And giving Brunson 20 is going to be a bad move. Same with Sexton as well. Yep. Yeah, I think before you consider the money and the deal for those two, you have to consider first, are they going to make the difference for this club? Are they going to move the needle forward? Brunson or Sexton? So are they a stopgap, or you got to decide what you want to do? And you've also got to wait for the draft as well. Obviously, I feel like the one positive is they're both young. Jalen Brunson, Colin Sexton. If you sign them, you'd have consistency. You'd have consistency for 3, 4, 5 years as well. That's something the New York Knicks haven't had at point for a long, long time. So at the end of the day, it is a glaring need. And the Knicks need to, they cannot go into next season without a solid starting young point guard that can stay healthy. We've tried the Kemba Walker. We've tried Derrick Rose, these 30-plus-year-old guards, one-way guards, that only score as well. We need a defender and a scorer as well that can run the team and get others involved, right? If Obi Toppin is around, we need a guard that can get him involved. get the shooters involved. Shah says if we don't get into the top 4 pick, it will be put into a deal. So I could see that. I could see us trading back, ladies and gents. I could see us trading down as well. What do you think about that? If Randall adjusts his game, moves the ball, continues to provide the muscle on the boards and an efficient 21, 10, and 6 more down low, Knicks will be a nightmare because he's unstoppable then. Yep. I think with a point guard, Julius can be very, very nice as well. With a point guard, take the ball out of his hands and then you can see really what he can do, ladies and gents, as well. That could be the enticing thing as to why a team may take that chance on Randall, as well. And Arizona Cards, Phoenix, salute. What's good? Suns continue to make these so-called playoff teams bend over and grab their ankles. Whole NBA is frauds except Suns. Oh, please. DeRoss, run this team back without Randall, Noel, and Kemba. Yep. That way you got some consistency as well. And give us your trades for Randall. Give us some realistic options. For me, I've said Portland. Portland have 2 top 10 potentially first round picks that we would love to get out of their hands. And I think they get a vet. They get a solid potential all-star vet next to Dame Lillard as well. That can complement Dame Lillard's game as well. Because CJ and Dame were sort of like, a backcourt. They couldn't get it done. But a front court player like Julius with a backcourt player like Dame, that might be a much better fit for those guys. Yeah, and like Shah says, the cap space next season will be going up. It'll be going up to 150 mil. Yeah, thank goodness. And a lot of players, including ex-NBA legends, say that if Randall plays the right way, he's one of the strongest, most unstoppable players in the league. He handles it, though, too much. Yep, he handles the rock a little bit too much now. Yep, he needs the ball out his hands. And J-Dub, CT, I just remembered that the 2023 draft is going to be the draft where high school talent can enter as well. And we have 2 picks in that deep draft. Yep, absolutely, no lie. The 2023 draft has been eyed by scouts, fans, execs, everybody for a while now. And it's also potentially the draft. We have the multiple second rounders and also the draft that Bronny James may be coming out. And Frank Matto, salute. Hope you're well. Let's get it. Everyone up in here strong. Knicks buzz. Hit the like button for your cuz. And let's keep it going. May 4th, Jazz will beat the Suns this season. Yep. Donovan Mitchell, maybe he ain't having any of that. He wants to get to the top of the mountain. He's going to be desperate. He's going to be motivated. This could be one of the Jazz last stands, if you think about it. Quinn Snyder talked that he could be, lured, enticed out of there as well. So the Jazz are up against the clock, right? It's going to be all or nothing. Ed says we don't need Brunson or Sexton. Again, let's just continue to build through the draft. Let's see what we got. If Sexton can be had at a good price, I'd be interested in exploring, maybe a 3-4 year deal. And let's not forget, you may have leverage with Sexton because he's coming off an ACL. You buy low, right? How many times have the New York Knicks organization bought low on somebody and that stock has just exploded as well? We bought Mitch low. We didn't sell at the right time. Now we may lose Mitch for nothing. But it bears watching what happens with Sexton and the Cleveland Cavaliers. And Frank was at the game tonight in Miami. Wow, what a comeback with the kids. Bye Randall. I appreciate you, Frank. How are your seats? How is the atmosphere? Look crazy out there with the Knicks fans. New York City Junior in Florida out there. And would have been a nice atmosphere seeing the Miami Heat fans leave the arena early. And the defensive effort, these young Knicks, these baby Knicks, playing two-way ball, getting up and down as well. And I said it at the time, man, what a draft we had last season. even if none of these kids become stars or they don't pop, they don't become studs, to get 3-4 potential rotation players in one draft, that can accelerate a rebuild. No lie. The Knicks have been in talent acquisition mode for forever, and to get an injection of talent like that, in such a short period of time, that's big. And I hope Deuce McBride, Jericho Sims, and Quentin Grimes continue to get a heap of burn. And like Ed says, Deuce shut down Brunson cold over in Dallas. Brunson and Sexton not it. Brunson and Sexton are not it. I hope the Knicks pull one of the top tier PGs in a blockbuster 3 or 4 team trade. We have the assets, ladies and gents. Let's see what we can do. And Deuce did lock up Fox from the Kings as well, certified. He's going to be a certified you watch. Well, hey, let's get it. I love to see these homegrown players, homegrown. John Starks made his name as a New York Knick. These kind of players that we either acquire young and develop, or we draft them. That's what other normal organizations are doing, right? And how you win. That's how you win. Shah says we will have around the 78 mil, 8 mil from Noah, and the 2 mil from the trade. LA and ATL next season if we move off of Burks, Kemba, Evan, Noel, Rose, and Taj. Plus, we can play with some serious ammo, Shah. If we get out of some of this money. And you reminded me about Joakim Noah. You reminded me about that. That's nice to see him finally come off the books. Finally, And Ed says people forget Randall is only 27 as well, still relatively young and has some good value. Absolutely. The way we look at Randall is different to the way some other teams' fans alone look at Randall. I was hearing for some Kings fans and some Dallas fans, they would love a Randall on their books, right? If you're a Dallas fan, you see Luka Doncic struggle every single night with no second option, nobody to help before Dinwiddie arrived. Now you suddenly pair Julius next to Luka as a second option, then you're playing with something. Again, Portland, you put him over there next to Dame. In the fourth quarter, you could go one possession Randall, one possession Dame. That's something that the Knicks were looking at hopefully doing. But like Will says, he agreed. The Portland is a top spot for both sides. Give us Bledsoe expirings and one of those big firsts. Yep, I'll take it and run with it. Right. For the Knicks to get a top 10 pick potentially together with our own pick, which might be in the 10th, 11th, 12th spot. You package both of them, even if you wanted, you could probably get into the top 5, top 6. You package 2 top 10 picks. Suddenly you're seriously looking at the Shaden Sharp. You're looking at the Jaden Ivey potential type things. Well, that's how you can really pull off some maneuvering, some chess moves. And what a game, Frank, to be at tonight. Salute to you for picking that one tonight to go out there in Miami. Great atmosphere as well. We could hear the Knicks fans on the broadcast as well. That was just nice to see. A nice, close to the end of this season, a nice gift for Knick fans just to see us, see a part of the future and what this club can look like as well. And it's got me a little bit more excited to watch the next 8 games. I want to see what these guys can do with extended minutes as well. So glad we drafted Grimes. Deuce, I'm still high on. I think Quickley stories untold, unwritten. I think he could be anything with his work ethic. He's certainly raising eyebrows, is Immanuel Quickley. Obi Toppin as well. The forgotten man. I feel like a lot of scouts and execs started forgetting about Obi. If he starts to get up and down and put up points like tonight, the stats like tonight, 15 points, 8 rebounds, being in the positive, shooting threes, shooting from deep. I think Obi Toppin flashed his whole arsenal tonight, and scouts had to have seen that on full effect, especially that pull up off the dribble, that mid-range shot as well. That's nice from a power forward to get that kind of look. There'll be a lot of teams screaming out for that Now, could you imagine Obi Toppin playing power forward for Charlotte and giving them that kind of production as well? So Obi Toppin has value. JJ, salute. Do you have any names you would like with good possibility we fall out of the top 10? Would you just draft best player available? Excuse me, instead of need. So would you draft the best player available instead of the need? Yep, best player available, JJ. I've been saying that for a while. We're too early in a building phase to worry about fits so far. I think just let the things fall where they may, let the chips fall, and let's take the best player available, because we can always swing for trades and maneuver and clear up spots. This is a deep draft. I feel like if Walt Perrin and the team are really, really high on a certain prospect, and they feel like he has star potential, for me, I'm all on board with going best player available instead of need. Absolutely. And I've had this argument with some friends back and forth. There's a lot of great power forwards. You got Tari Eason. You got some other power forwards as well. And I know we're stacked at power forward. But if one of them falls in your lap and they're clearly a better player than some of the other players, it's difficult to pass up on. I'm not going to lie. Yep. Yep. Good luck, Charm. Absolutely. We need you at more games. Salute. All we have to do is keep Tibbs. All we have to do is Tibbs keep Randall and the vets away. That second option was Brunson, and it wasn't it. So why on the Knicks? That second option was Brunson on Dallas, and it wasn't it for them. So why for us? Well, that's the drawback. No lie. The fact that you have to pay Brunson as well, that money, that's a decision that's going to have to be debated by the front office, and I guess, like I said earlier, you ask themselves, is Brunson going to be a dude that moves the needle as well? If it's not going to move the needle, I'm okay being patient and just seeing what else happens in the draft. Let things shake out. Wait another year, see what happens with Donovan, maybe DeJounte Murray, SGA. Maybe he gets put on the market with OKC. And May 4th. Yeah, and Sims is light years ahead of where Mitch was in his first year. You hit with that one, fam. We can't really compare the players now, but let's compare them when they were in their first year. And Sims is definitely ahead of where Mitch was in terms of staying on the floor, being effective. Absolutely, a great future for Jericho Sims. A steal at the 58th pick. That was crazy. Finally, for once, the Knicks get lucky. Of course, we know Isaiah Thomas was picked with the 60th pick. Nikola Jokic was picked with the 40-something pick. Manu Ginobili was picked in the 40s, I think. There's every now and then a team picks up a dime in the second round. And the Knicks, if Ricky was 7 years younger, I'd have him. Yeah, he saved just enough to torch us, didn't he? The Knicks, right? Ricky Rubio put up his career high this season. Now he's mailed it in, and he might retire, actually. Might Ricky. And Sean, salute. Duran, Eason, and a couple of guys that can be available in the 10 to 14 range. Yep, absolutely. And that goes back to the best player available. Those guys could be real studs in the league, right? And I know we stacked at the center and at the power forward spot, but if they're available, you may just have to clear room, figure it out later. Just draft them and then figure it out, because those guys have serious talent. Shah wants to trade the pick unless it's a top 4 to 5 pick. I think they will definitely look for offers to see what they can get. Right, there's just too many moving parts and too many options available for them to not explore that as well. And like I've been saying, I think trading back is a real possibility too. A lot of people might be angry at that again, but if it works out like it did this year, you can get a Grimes and a couple of other studs as well later in the first round or early second round trading back could be another option too. This is a very, very deep draft in terms of evenness. From the 12th spot to the 30-something spot, it's in the eye of the beholder. May 4th, get the best 2 small forwards we can possibly get who are 6'8" and better. That's what we need, right? We need more size at the wing. Yep, great point. Absolutely. Yeah, more size at the wing for May 4th. Get the best 2 small forwards. Who do you like? Benedict. Give us some other names out there. And I dig IQ. He's got big confidence, but he still has to control his shot selection. He'll make anything if he's hot, but he'll shoot 35 footers at the wrong time and take bad shots at times as well. Yep. That's where his game is at right now. Absolutely. I'm still high like you on IQ. I dig him. What I want to see with IQ is to see him stick around for his whole rookie deal, right? Don't get enticed by any trade. Don't worry about what's happening with him. IQ has the work ethic, and he has the support, the family background, the support to be the best player he can be. Now, as an organization, I would like to see the Knicks bet on that. Bet on IQ's work ethic, his growth. Just bet that he's going to become the best player he can be, and whatever that becomes, it's only going to be good for the New York Knicks. I feel like he's only going to get better each and every year. Right, sophomore year now, a couple more years of his rookie deal. Let's see. Let's just invest in IQ and see what he can be. But I feel like we don't need to, force the point guard situation on him. Right? He's not the point guard savior. We don't need to force him into that role next season. Let his third season be a little bit more ball handling, maybe off ball, 20 minutes on ball, but not the starting point guard. I think that might be setting him up for failure next season. We need a more surefire option. And Shah says, this draft, we have a lot of power forwards. Yep. And we'll have no room for them unless we move Randall. Yep. Like I've been saying, in the top 10, there's at least 3, 4, 5 talented power forwards, right? Which is unfortunate. I was hoping it would be a guard stacked top 10 in the draft, because we need guards more. But yeah, like you say, if the best player available is the power forward, we may have to consider it. If they're just talented, you always have to bet on talent. In that situation. And I liked Timmy from Gonzaga. He's not super but good, but just plays hard every game. Yep. Who else are you liking out there, ladies and gents, in the draft? Salute. Agree. We are still in the roster acquisition mode. We hit in the draft last season, and we need to draft the best player available where we land. Yep. And just on that, where would you guys feel about moving down? About if we did trade back, let me know. The possibility is real. The New York Knicks have traded back in the last 2 drafts. They have a history of it. They for a number of reasons, they trust their scouts. Obviously, they try to move up for their target. It was Trey Mann, it was Duarte last season. If it's this season, they miss out on their target, they might opt to move back. And I'm okay with that, as long as they're happy with the prospects, they're getting, because there's a lot of talent. There's a lot of talent out here, and we need one player who can be moved from small forward to power forward to center. And JJ, if we were to draft a wing like Johnny Davis, what would happen with all the young wings with him added to RJ, Cam, and Grimes? Would be a logjam for real. Maybe 1 or 2 would be moved. Yep. You got Evan, you got Fournier, you got Cam, Grimes, Burks, RJ. Like you said, I think it's a situation where you just draft the player first and then you figure it out later. You figure it out. Players can always be traded, can be moved. The New York Knicks cannot afford to whiff on a superstar type potential. Otherwise, we will be ridiculed all over again. Now, I know hindsight's 2020, but where would you guys sit now if we could have Michael Porter Jr. instead of Kevin Knox, right? we could have had Michael Porter Jr. at the time instead of Kevin Knox. Betting on upside talent, surefire talent versus potential talent as well. And E says Sims was a great pick in the late second. I'd like to see him work on his game offensively in the off season, but yeah, he's real solid. Yep, he's real solid. No lie, it was a great pickup. Yeah, anytime you can get a contributor on the 58 pick, I think it's a steal. Basically, yeah, you can't bet on it, and you can't hope. You can't expect a player to be a contributor, even make the roster at 58, let alone what we're getting out of Jericho in the upside. So yeah, big ups for that. Mitch first year was like coming out of high school. Yeah, absolutely right. It wasn't pretty at times, that's for sure. And Will says someone put this on Twitter, so I can't take credit, but we won this game with last year's 25th pick, this year's 25th, this year's 36th, this year's 58th, and Taj. Credit for drafting. Yep. Hey, great point. When you point it out like that, Will, and whoever put it out on Twitter, salute. That's how winning's done. That's how you build. Build the slow way, but build methodically, and make sure you find some talent. Just combine lots and lots of talent. And that's why I said last season was big. Yeah, anytime you can get 3 to 4 role players or rotation players in the one draft, that's an injection of talent, right? Most teams only have 1 or 2 picks in the draft. Anytime you can add 4 potential rotation players, you've done well. And of course, Rokas Jokubaitis is included in that. The future's not written with him right now. He's balling out in Europe. He might be one of the best players out of all of them. We don't even know yet right now. He's leading Barcelona, one of the best teams in Europe right now, at 21 years of age. And this kid is under our control right now. He's under our control. All it takes is a buyout, and he could be a New York Knick next season. So, I mean, we have so many young players. We have a coach that doesn't like playing many young players. I mean, we have so many vets. Something has got to give, right? Something has got to give. And tonight could be a monumental game, a monumental performance that shows the brass, the front office. Okay, what does this team look like in the future? What nice pieces can we bring in to complement this nice, this nice pot of gumbo we got stewing here as well. JJ, as much as I like Sims and Mitch, it would be nice to find a center with an offensive game. Hey, me too. I'm on point with that. You're on point with that. Just get me a center that can stretch the floor as well. You saw Bam Adebayo tonight. Anytime we had him basically locked down, last second shot clock moving down. How many times did Bam bail them out with a mid-ranger, with a deep mid-range or a jump shot as well? So yeah, this offense would look real nice. And I think part of tonight made me really happy seeing Obi Toppin pull up. Obi Toppin hit those 2 deep threes. Off the dribble, he hit the mid-range J. That was nice to see, a big man with a stroke. And make no mistake, if Mitchell Robinson had a J, oh man, the potential. I mean, the potential Mitchell Robinson would have if he has a J, a sneaky J, that's in there somewhere, and it ends up coming out on one team. Yeah, he could be a real steal. Shah says, if I'm not correct, I think we have 1 or 2 second rounders this draft as well. Yep, no lie, we do. We could certainly get more with trading Burks, with trading Noel, even Kemba. Let's not forget about Kemba Walker. He might need to be off this roster. Yeah, I mean, he needs to be off this roster, but he might be traded this summer as well. So yeah, great points, Shah. Great points. Yeah, Dunross, salute. Mitch first year was all about dunks and blocks. Yeah, the ones that he was blocking from 3-point line. Those were some crazy highlights that had the whole league on notice as well. Yeah, and extremely impressed by Sims, May 4th. Looking better and better each night, right? Jericho Sims got the hops, got smarts as well. 4 years in college. That offensive rebound he pulled in from the sky with his broad shoulders, right? No, it was like 3 Miami players were on him, and they wouldn't even get close. Obi is 6'9", Cam 6'8". Yeah, definitely a little bit undersized. And salute Tone Wu, salute Garden of Knicks. What a great win tonight. Look good without Randall, man. Great points. Tell me what you want to do. What does that mean for Randall? What does that mean for the future now? This Obi Toppin, Randall talk is going to continue. Like we just touched on, this draft has a heap of power forwards as well. We need guards still. We have some wings now with Cam, RJ, but we're still in talent. We're still in talent acquisition mode, right? We need to put dudes in position to thrive up in here as well, and then people really start paying attention. And the thing that bothers me with IQ is over dribbling. He did it tonight a few times, but he dribbled 20 seconds with the shot clock off, to take a step back as well. Yeah, I think it's slow steps, JJ, with IQ. It's bad habits, and bad habits take time to kick. Bad habits, and they need coaching. And let's hope Johnny Bryant and these development staff, come up in the air and do some stuff. Let's hope, because IQ has a real high ceiling. I feel like, whether he can get there or not, let's see. But like I said, let's just invest in the man, because 4 or 5 years of a rookie deal, we're afforded that luxury by being the ones that took a gamble on IQ with the 25th pick. We have 5 years of seeing what this boy can do. And like Allah says, I saw the boy quick for sure. Yep, absolutely right. The league acknowledged IQ has talent. At the trade deadline, dudes was calling the New York Knicks, saying, "What's the deal with IQ?" They've seen that the guy has some talent. I think Portland are going to want IQ as well. He says, "Yeah, we have first rounder and second round talent. Yeah, draft picks in this draft. Yeah, we have both." Right, we can maneuver, we can wheel and deal. Like Sean says, IQ was at his best tonight once he started attacking the closeouts. Yep, no lie. Triple threat out there, right? He's a threat from deep. He's a threat to get to the cup, and he's now becoming a threat, as a passing and a defender as well. That steal was probably one of my favorite plays of the night. Like I said, it had me out of my chair with that situation right there. IQ two-way dude pulling out big steals in the clutch against Miami, right? How can it get any better than that, right? The Miami Heat defense was supposed to be the best defense, but tonight our calling card was our defense on the win tonight, and the grittiness coming from behind, showing the Heat never say die in their empty arena with their fake fans. And the Knicks, if we don't do the blockbuster move, year and let IQ and McBride play more next year, does that mean we're waiting on Donovan? Yep, that could definitely be the likes. No lie. Yeah, exactly. And Sean V is good when he's attacking the hezzy, over dribbling without hezzy and over dribbling and killing the shot clock. Yep. He just needs great coaching as well. He has the talent, the work ethic. Like I've been saying, man, IQ has solid fundamentals. Something a New York Knicks player, a young player, we haven't been able to say for a long time. Him and RJ, they're built with great stock. Basically, they got support with their family, their upbringing. They're solid in terms of the game, their commitment, and I think the sky's the limit. We should have drafted Donovan, yep, instead of Frank. Yep, no lie. The Knicks, we could have had Jar, Steph back in the day. Very sad to be a Knicks fan, but still a Knicks fan, though. Yeah, hey, the future's looking brighter. Just stick with it. Just stick with it. And Kevin Durant and Giannis to the Knicks, problem solved. Yeah, that'd be a microwave for sure. Randall, 23 mil, RJ's 30, and Grimes 3 mil, Reddish 20, Deuce 1, Sims 1, Obi 6, IQ 2, 15 Mitch. Not we get a point guard, 112 cap, 30 mil plus the guy we just pick up for the G League as well. Sharp Hour spelling it out with the cap salaries. I appreciate that. 3D salute. Tibbs probably still didn't learn much from this game, right? He was still defending his guys, right, which is crazy. Still defending his tactics. With that, calling the fans out. And Christian Wood is that stretch 5. I'd love to pay him the 2 years. Yep, that's going to be an intriguing prospect. No lie. Christian Wood. That'd fit well. It'd fit nice. It'd take our offense to a different level. I feel like, and I appreciate it. Tone, let's get it. Allah, Tibbs was smart to play Taj with Obi and Sims to close out. Yep, like I said, you got to sprinkle in a little bit of wisdom with this youthful energy, right? And it's the right ingredients to get something good, right? I feel like Taj calms people down. Right, he's out there. The youth trusts him. They listen to him. He plays hard as well. It's got to be the right amount of minutes. And remember, you're not going so far without some muscle. Tibbs knows that as well. Yep, you got to get tough. Yep, absolutely. It's no boys allowed. You can't be punked. But the thing I love about our youth, man, Grimes is built solid. Deuce is built solid. Quickley's putting on some muscle, right? I think in the next 3-4 years, we could be a beast defensively if those 4 dudes are still on the roster. RJ, Grimes, Deuce, Quickley, they are serious perimeter defenders out there. Something the New York Knicks have lacked for so long. And Randall did look genuinely supportive on the sideline. Yep, thumbs up. If he's willing to spend the summer soul searching, come back as a genuine team player, I'd give him one more shot as well. It could take Will. And like I said, I appreciate what Randall can bring to the table as a player. And when he's switched on, I've always said he's just not in the right role. Last season he played like a number 1 option in a pandemic year, which was an aberration. We got to see what he looks like with a proper point guard. And Tone tonight proves we're definitely a young team moving forward. In other words, play the kids. Randall got to go. We'd be a 6-7 had been Tibbs benched Randall. Yep, no lies there, facts. And I guess when they do their season review, things like that, Leon and Tibbs and that sit down and they got to look at what went wrong. I think things went wrong with the Kemba situation. I feel like when they decided he's no longer with us, it should have been handled better. He should have been moved to the bench, given us 10, 15 off the bench, maybe. We should have moved Quentin Grimes into the rotation a lot earlier. We should have moved Deuce to the rotation. We should have been given Obi a lot more burn as well. And I think it was a missed opportunity. But here we are, and we may end up with a nice draft pick. You know what I mean? To add to this nice ingredient of nice gumbo cooking. Imagine if we added another top 10 talent, Benedict Maturin, or the list goes on and on. Whichever prospect you like, with March Madness still going on. I think the Knicks youth in the future does look pretty bright with the draft picks we have. We just got to manage these assets properly. We got to not give out any bad contracts. Let's trade away some of these redundant vets, and let's rock for next year. Be civilized. Salute. Tonight was a sample size on what this team can do when using Big 15 properly. All year, Tibbs' rotation's been out of whack. If Tibbs is bold, start McBride and sit Burks as well. And I don't even think it's going to be Tibbs' decision soon. I think 8 games to go, 5 games out. I think it's Deuce time. No lie, it's Deuce. It's Sims time. What is interesting though, if they do start to cut Mitchell Robinson's minutes, like tonight, Mitch came off the bench, for Sims. So what does that tell us? Are they really, really looking at Sims for the future and that being a piece? IQ. attack Souza the way teams attack Fournier. straight facts there. That they went for the mismatch, and that's some IQ ish right there. Agreed on that IQ steal, and that they do steal and full court finish on 3 Heat players. Yep, highlight package all day, every day. The New York Knicks got to win games on both ends of the floor, right? And tonight we saw what it looked like without Randall, what our defense looks like as well. Everyone want to focus on the offense, but arguably Randall's biggest knock this year is that he's been unmotivated and not given the effort on defense. Yet when Julius is buckled up on the defensive end, he's a gritty defender at times. He can get it. He's a big body. He can get into dudes. But yeah, he's been lazy running up and down the court and transition as well. Transition D. But tonight, we got dudes that can cover, can close out, get back on their man quickly. We can make up for, blow-bys, things like that real quick. And I think, tonight was a defensive masterclass, basically in that fourth, to hold the Miami Heat with a run home. They had it all to play for tonight. The Miami Heat only scored 15 points in the fourth quarter tonight. Like, let that sink in. And that was just beautiful. It was pretty to see those steals, right? Get up in there. Like I said, man, Quentin Grimes, Deuce, Quickley, and RJ. That's 4+ perimeter defenders we can look forward to seeing hopefully grow. I think Cam Reddish has defensive upside as well. Right, he's got length, he's got size, 6'8". The New York Knicks do need to get back to that defensive calling card that we had as well, but ability to get stops and then get out in transition with IQ, Obi, RJ, and the like as well. Maybe Zion even in the future. And Will's just throwing it out there. But if somehow Kyrie shakes off the nets, I'm taking him. I'm nuts, but so is Kyrie. Hey, that's the hottest take of the night, Will. I didn't expect that to come out, but hey, we shout it out. We keep it 100. Healthy Knicks talk. Kyrie Irving is now able to play home games. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you think that what does that show to you now in terms of the Brooklyn Nets' chances? Do you still have Miami ahead of them, Milwaukee ahead of them? Do you still have Philly ahead of them? I think it's hard to go against Kyrie and KD, when the lights are the brightest. And Anthony Simon signed me up from Portland as well. If he could be stolen, let's turn the lights out and steal him. Because, like I said, Julius Randle to Portland makes a ton of sense to me, right? They please Damian Lillard. They have a dude to build around when Damian Lillard gets a little bit older. In 2 years' time, Julius will still be only 29, 30 as well. When Damian Lillard is 35, 36, Julius will just be 29. So that could be what Portland's looking for as well. They don't really get big name stars as well. So that's my sneaky pick for a home for Julius as well. So you guys give me one of yours. This was the best win of the season, coming back from 15, entering the fourth, especially rocking with the youth. They played with the intensity and finished the game out. Yep, great point, E. Like I said earlier in the show, top 3 win for me. The two Boston wins, the come from behind opening night and the RJ Barrett buzzer beater, were slightly above tonight. But I think tonight's got to be definitely the second or third best win of this season as well. And B, loved IQ, Deuce, Grimes, Sims, and RJ. That lineup was fire right there. I had to pinch myself. Nick Yak, salute. We give Mitch his flowers. He played a great game overall. 19 minutes, 11 points, 7 boards, offensive. How many plays that he kept it alive as well. He's definitely playing hungry. He's playing for the contract. I think Mitchell Robinson's earned the contract already now. It's a given. 8 games to go. Injuries permitting, Mitchell Robinson will get a $15 million offer, I think, from at least 3, 4, 5 teams. And he may get more offers for other value amount as well. But Mitchell Robinson, he's going to be sneakily one of the top free agents this off season. It's not a strong off season, but for a team that's closer to contending, imagine how enticing it might look to get a Mitchell Robinson for 15 mil. And but if we give Portland Randall, Simons is the only player I want for the Knicks. Yep, absolutely. Me too. Sign me up as well. Yeah, Portland does have the picks. Yeah, absolutely. Yep. They do have potentially the 2 top 10 picks as well. And what are they going to do with them, right? They've got Dame Lillard, who's 34 years old, 33, in his prime. So they need to get that man help ASAP. And Nick Yak, you'd be foolish if you think Obi averaging 20, 10, 5. We can use both Randall and Obi in different roles, with Obi getting more minutes as well. I wouldn't be mad at that either. I wouldn't be mad seeing that for another year to see. But we do need the ball out of Julius's hands. I've been saying we need the point guard, a point guard that's going to hold everybody accountable, get us in the half court set, and get Randall in his spot as well, because he does take too many possessions. Sometimes he pounds the rock. And if we do a 3-team trade with Dallas, Portland, the Knicks, Brunson and Randall go to Portland, Dallas, and get Mitchell and the picks, and Simmons goes to the Knicks, or Simons goes to the Knicks with other players and picks. Yeah, that's an interesting situation. Yeah, Portland, Dallas, and the Knicks as well. Let's get it. And Tone, 1, Spider Mitchell, 2, DeJounte Murray, 3, Dennis Schroeder, 4, Patty Mills, 5, Jay Wall. No reason we do not end up with one of these guys. 100% facts. Right, let's get it. Even SGA, if he's available, if we can tempt them for SGA. But like you said, I agree. Spider, DeJounte, got to be up there with the top priorities for the New York Knicks, right? We need it. Will Kyrie has a $36 million player option this summer. He's turning that down. I'll clear the books by whatever means necessary and sign him. It's amazing how much game Kyrie still has, right? I must admit, I did think Kyrie would start to slow down, but he's definitely, I guess it's been time sitting out, but Kyrie is certainly, his game has aged well. He's preserved himself, considering he had all that knee trouble. And like B says, Mitch absolutely deserved it. Yep, no lie. And IQ, Deuce, Grimes together really played great. Pressure D. It was fun to watch. Yep. Can't wait to go back, watch the highlights, fam. Everyone watching, let me know what you think was the most impressive thing. But tonight, like I said, I think it was defensive end and the comeback. The fourth quarter takeover from Quickley, from Deuce, from Grimes. That was just beautiful to see. Nick Yak, he'll get that and more from us, like 18. Watch. Well, so yeah, a lot of maneuvering, a lot of decisions to be made. We are in a position with question marks, but we do have potential solutions. There's question marks, but there's solutions as well. So we're not completely back against the wall, in a dead end. We just need to find willing trade partners as well. Draft the best player available. Build a solid foundation for next season so that these young players have room to play and grow. Set a runway for them, and then let's see. Crazy things have happened. Build organically, and like B says, New York is one of the best offensive rebounding teams because of Mitch. Yep, he's been putting in straight work this season. Yeah, and Randall got to go home. Randall don't go home to Dallas? Question mark for that trade proposal. You're done, Ross. Do you think Mitch might be a starter in Detroit or not? If not, he could be a problem. Yeah, I think he's definitely a starter, done, Ross. I think if Mitch goes to Detroit, if he goes to Charlotte, he'll start. There's other teams interested, possibly Dallas. There's rumors Dallas are interested as well. Luke is going to find him. If Mitch is open, Luka will find the open man. And I wouldn't be surprised if a team like OKC as well might be really interested in Mitch. And Garden says Tone, Obi and Burks along with a pick going to New Orleans for Zion and Josh Hart. So Obi and Burks along with a pick going to New Orleans for Zion and Jay Hart. it's going to be tough, man, to do that. I think we've got to wait to see, or I think New Orleans have got to wait to see Zion try to get healthy, build his stock value up. But yeah, if his stock's at the lowest, I think that's definitely a chance for the Knicks to capitalize, man, capitalize on that and steal him away. Maybe he can hijack them like James Harden done and said, "Hey, I'm not going nowhere except the New York Knicks." That's going to play into our hands. That's going to make things real nice. Um, you know, it, at the end of the day, it's got to happen for the Knicks soon, right? Some young star has got to want to put their money where their mouth is and decide to come here. And I think it's going to be because of our youth, the enticing situation with RJ Barrett and the chance to be something special with him in New York City and build that winning team, that we haven't been able to do for so long. I feel like that's going to entice players to come to New York, not the money like we tried with LeBron, fame and fortune, all of that. Right, Zion don't need that. He's got all the money for days. I think yeah, Donovan wants to probably come back home. Let's see. I think it's going to happen in the next couple of years. The New York Knicks will get definitely a bigger star if we continue to build slowly, build the right way, and be civilized. Most definitely a starter for Mitch on Detroit. Yep, absolutely. I don't think they're paying a dude 15 mil to not start. So also Mitch has got himself sorted, I think, for next season. I think he's secured the bag now. I don't think I could argue about it now. Whether it's the Knicks give him the bag or Detroit, Dallas, Charlotte as well. Charlotte's interested. Don't let Mitch go to Dallas. That would be a new Dallas Knicks team who might be a problem with having a flawed general. So good points there. Good points, B. Yeah, Nick Yak, wait for Zion. He will not sign the second contract and walk here. He'll walk up out of New Orleans as well. Yep. So a lot of situations open up for the New York Knicks if we continue to build the right way, play the youth, uh, look attractive as well. We need to look attractive for these situations, and stars will come. Yeah. And if the Knicks let Mitch go, the MSG faithful are going to be sorry when he visits the Garden and then kills them, including the offense. He does, including the offense, he does have that Tibbs won't let him use. He just needs to fix his free throws. So, yep, you're high on Mitch. Yeah, a lot of fans are really high on Mitch as well. I feel like, he's a player we definitely should not lose for nothing. That'd be sad. But at the end of the day, our biggest need to me is a guard. Mitch has got great, signs, potential. The New York Knicks, if they can sign and trade Mitch and get a guard in return, at least get something back, I'd be okay with that. I'd be okay with that. And Obi must improve his D to be a small forward. Nick Yackett, absolutely. I think Obi's strength is being a small ball four. There's no doubt about it. May 4th doesn't want no parts of Mitch at all. So I'll let him walk. Let us know what parts of your game he needs to fix. Zion for Randall, IQ Reddish, a 2 first. That was one of the trades. I don't know. Yep. It's going to be interesting because I think Randall and probably Fournier's deals may be needed to make these trades work. So look out for Evan Fournier to stick around, ladies and gents. And Will says, sorry to heart, but Kyrie has matured. As seen from seeing through his vac situation, his injuries were knickknacks, not lingering. Chris Paul of the next gen, well into his 30s. Young'uns respect him as well. Let's see if he's invested, Will. I don't know if Kyrie wants to play as long as CP3. He's got a lot of off-court ambitions, I think, just Kyrie. So, yeah, that's going to be interesting to see. B says we can't lose Mitch like Frankie boy. Yeah, we definitely did well not to lose Kevin Knox for nothing, but no, we can't lose Mitch for nothing. That'll be sad, right? The 36th pick from the Carmelo Anthony trade. Yeah, we need to get something back from Mitch, real. Otherwise, it's gonna be booze in the Garden for sure. Dan Ross, Mitch has got to watch his fouls as well. I think he's improved with that, but his free throw shooting definitely needs to improve, man. And I like Mitch, but I wouldn't cry about it if he goes somewhere else. Yep, I think I'm about in between, man, child. I'm about the same as you. I'd be sad if we lost him for nothing. I'd be angry if we lost him for nothing. But I could see the writing on the wall already. Basically, May 4th. I can't wait until we get a guard, and then all excuses will be over and done with. Mitch does not affect wins and losses, no matter how it's worded. And I would for nothing because we could have traded for someone else. Yep, absolutely. Frank's still hyped over tonight's game. Smash those likes. Appreciate you all. Knicks buzz. Let's get it. And I'm glad. I'm glad we could see this win tonight. And see that glimmer of the future because, let's be real. Fans were down. Fans are down. It's been a down season, and tonight showed us something. Tonight showed us that there's sunshine at the end of this tunnel, and there's a pathway forward for this club. A lot of talent with upside. We just got to do the hard yards. We got to invest in them. We got to coach them up. We got to let them develop. We got to put them in positions to win. And I think the Knicks can certainly turn this around, right? Julius Randall, that's central to that. I think Julius Randall is probably better served going elsewhere as well. Let's see what we can get. Let's see. We need him for that big deal, certainly. And makes it always an excuse, always some excuse for Mitch as well. Doesn't want to pay him the bag. Manchild to be, he won't stay away. Nothing. He won't away for nothing. It's going to be sign and trade. Yep. He won't leave for nothing. Yep. Let's hope. Let's hope because I can't afford to lose a quality asset for nothing, right? Regardless of how high you are on Mitch, he is our starting center, right? To lose him to unrestricted free agency would be that would be upsetting, no lies. And the Knicks, I just hope Leon and co do a great job. Don't overpay for second and third tier players when we can get a blockbuster top tier. So, yep. A lot of people critical of the Evan Fournier deal. Where does that sit with you now? We gave Evan Fournier the bag. Is he really a difference maker at the end of the day? I know his play has leveled out. It's justifiable. He's shot the ball great. He's not a great defender as well. With Quentin Grimes here, with Cam Reddish up in here, is Evan Fournier kind of signing redundant now as well? So should he be on the block? You let me know. But I feel like Evan Fournier is definitely useful on some teams. No lie. I feel like he's definitely useful on some teams, and he could help. He's probably played himself into a situation where he's tradable. Absolutely, I feel like he's played himself where he's tradable. But Will says Mitch is a top-notch offensive rebounder, but he needs to learn the art of the tip, Tyson Chandler style. Yep, the tip back. Yep, you summed that up nicely as well. He'd get a heap of new boards with that tip back. And we need to switch out at least 7, 8, 9 players for next season. Yep, I can agree. Let's go through the list. Kemba, Nerlens, Burks, could probably move out Randall, Fournier. That's at least 5. But yeah, in terms of players, we got a draft as well. We got we have a shortage of roster spots. Basically, if we don't move on for some dudes, it's going to be double ups again, double ups for days. We can't keep doing that. We need to clear the runway for these young bulls. Like tonight, man, it was all on display to see. The New York Knicks just absolutely blitzed the Miami Heat on their own floor tonight. It was beautiful to see. I don't even know what was better to do it on the Garden floor or in Miami. Probably Miami for me because we haven't won there since 2017. Let that sink in. Right, it's been crazy. And Evan is not a Jordan Poole or a Jordan Claxton or a Michael Jordan. Yep, absolutely facts. But he does have some value now, which is great. It was looking like a sunken cost, a sunken signing, but now Evan Fournier's played himself either into a nice tradable deal or stick around for another year and a half or another half a year and see, because you need shooting in the league. You need NBA floor spacers up in here. Evan Fournier is lights out, right? Could be a nice look off the bench, like I've been crying out for. And I saw you Taj and D Rose. How could I forget about those guys? Because they're sitting out. So yeah, you got that's 7 dudes right there. I listed Taj and D Rose. Nick Yak, what excuse for Mitch? Dude is balling only on 25 minutes and putting up 8 and 8. 4 of them offensive with a steal and 2 blocks. That's a double-double at 30 minutes as well. So yeah, Mitch does have some value. For me, he's not a player that's going to move the needle. Like, he's not going to be the dude to win us a game late in the game, or I guess take us to that next level. But he is a worthy starting center in this league now. There's no doubt about it. He is deserving of that contract. And yep, Fournier is lethal as a 6-man man-child as well. Yep. Actually, that signing, let's see what happens with it eventually. But regardless, Evan Fournier will go down as history with the New York Knicks now. The most 3-pointers made in a season. Salute to the man. Taken over John Starks, the legend. And yeah, congrats to him as well, because it was looking bleak. It was looking bleak for Evan this season. There was knives out. There was people ready to ship him out ASAP right there. But really, the real scapegoat should have been Kemba Walker. You know what I mean? Kemba Walker was that real scapegoat, because him next to Fournier just put a heap of more pressure on Fournier as well, because he's not a great defender. But truth be told, is that Kemba Walker was really even worse as well, with no knees, no legs left in his career, in his game. And Taj, Rose, Burks, Noel, Evan, Kemba will bring back like 70 mil. Yep. We just got to play it smart. And the New York Knicks, salute. Yeah, salute. Let's get it, fam. Great win. Excited for it. Let's see these next 8 games. We've got Detroit on Sunday, matinee. Probably going to pick up another dub. It's going to be Deuce McBride up against Kay Cunningham all over again, right? Maybe Deuce is going to steal his lunch again as well. And I'm pleased about IQ becoming a 2-way player now. So IQ can defend this season. He's shown enormous strides on that part of the floor as well. So offensively, he needs to improve with his vision, his shot selection, but defensively, IQ can get after it, man. He can get after it, no lie. And May 4th, you can replace Mitch with anything. His skill set is a dime a dozen. So well, it says May 4th. I'm kind of a little bit in between. I understand your point. I feel like his skill set is replaceable. Absolutely. It's not easily replaced, I feel, but it can be replaced in terms of his defensive and his defensive potential, his rebounding. But offensively, he just gives you nothing other than putbacks. I feel like But with a good point guard, he could look different. LaMelo Ball, maybe Lonzo Ball, even Chicago, Kay Cunningham. Let's see. And be civilized. I remember when Mitch bodied Embiid, and that game we featured McBride and Grimes playing beside him versus Kemba and Burks. Yet you're reminding me now, man, taking a trip down memory lane. And May 4th, Mitch is the reason we lose games, because he never where he needs to be in position on D. Well, I feel like his free throw shooting is the most disappointing thing. He definitely needs to improve on that end, fam. The way he shoots his free throws just sort of flicks it at the hoop as well. Because he gets to the line. Like, Mitch gets to the line maybe 4 to 6 times a game. Yep, facts. Fournier breaker records that he had. Yep, he surpassed Starks as well. That's a great highlight from the season, right? Straight from opening night, Evan Fournier. Remember that overtime performance, man, when he was just had the garden lit. So everything that left his hand was a fireball as well, right? It's great to see the New York Knicks with shooting now as well, right? We need shooting in this league. Manchild says, I won't renew my league pass next year if Randall and Tibbs are still around. So yeah, letting that be known as well. This is attractive ball that we're watching. It's not going to win us every night, but yeah, seeing the young players get up and down, have fun, play with joy, move the ball, play with pace, defend, get after it with each other. I feel like, it's going to be interesting to see what Tim sees when he watches the tape. But like I said, I feel like the front office is going to force Tibbs to play heavier minutes with these young players now. There's no excuse. There's no lie. Right, ladies and gents. Deuce McBride got after it. Jericho Sims got after it tonight. Quentin Grimes is back. Flame throwing. Was he 3 of 6 tonight? Quentin Grimes, great 3-and-D player. Right, we stole Miami's lunch. Basically, a couple of those ticky-tack fouls, Quentin Grimes actually stole the ball as well. I'm not going to lie. He got all ball. And Frank, let's go Knicks. Super hype as well. How are your seats tonight? Did you get a good view? Great game to be at tonight, man, in South Beach as well. Salute everyone out there representing heavy in Miami. Young kids have got a party tonight and celebrate. And Shah says Wood, Mo Bamba are gonna be around the 12 mil. And plus, you think they're better than Mitch. Yep, Christian Wood, Mo Bamba, they're going to be around the 12 mil plus. You think they're better than Mitch? Probably not Christian Wood, no way. Mo Bamba would be a nice replacement, I feel like, if we lost Mitch. But I think, Mo Bamba offers a little bit more in terms of offensively. Maybe a step back defensively, but a little bit more offensively. So I think Bumba's a little bit closer, but I think he might get more. I think Bumba might get more than a 12. And Frank says Randall, peace to Randall. Nick Yak, he leads the league in offensive boards and 4 in the blocks, shooting 76%. Is replaceable. It's definitely not easily replaced, but like I said, I feel like the outside of the offensive boards, the blocks, the putbacks and stuff, I feel like another center would give us different looks offensively as well. But people raised a good point too. If you did pay Mitch 15, you've got RJ to pay the max next season, and you've also got Cam Reddish that you may need to pay as well. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be what's going to be factored in is if they feel like Mitch is a difference maker and he has room to grow still. And look, I won't be surprised if they offer him the money, 15 mil, just to have that asset retained. But I feel like Mitchell Robinson, if other teams offer 15 mil, it might be, the decision might be taken out of our hands. Mitch might decide to go somewhere else. He might feel more valued or more feel like that he can win with Dallas, with Charlotte. So he feel like he might be able to take them to the next level. And like Manchild says, IQ maturing before our very eyes. Yep, indeed he is. Absolutely, Manchild. That's been a joy to see as well. He's had his lumps. He's definitely been through some slump this season. IQ, I feel like you never bet against a dude with that kind of upbringing, that kind of motivation to succeed in the game. He wants to be the best he can be. And I think he's going to shake off some of these bad habits. He's going to watch film like he does. He's going to stay in the gym. He's a gym rat. And I feel like IQ, keep him for his whole rookie season and just see what he can become. Because I feel like teams are going to continue to call us for IQ. Let's see. And LBJ during a game against Houston had a whole bunch of things again about Christian Wood, saying look out for this guy. Okay, I didn't see that one, but he's definitely got potential. And Mayforce says all them stats useless when he has no awareness. You can design plays just for Mitch because he has no understanding of basketball basic principles. Or maybe you can't design plays just for Mitch. And Nick Yak, you're making stuff up about Mitch as well, so a bit of back and forth there. Talking about whether Mitch is the dude to pay or not as well. You guys go back and forth. Will Grimes really got his flow back over the course of this game. Yeah, I'm happy for that, Will, too. Quentin Grimes, it took him a while to get his feet wet after being out, which is understandable. But yeah, he's a strong IQ player. He has a great feel for the game. Speaking of players that have a great feel for the game, Quentin Grimes always knows where to be, on positional. He knows where to be on the floor. Offensively, defensively, he moves his feet. He can push the ball up the floor. I'm really high on Grimes as well. And I've been saying if he was just 6'5", 6'6", with extra size, he'd be a quintessential 3-and-D, really, really high level 3-and-D. He still might be, but 6'4", he can get exposed a little bit with players with length at the wing spot. And Frank says, yeah, Heat fans were so sick tonight. Oh, yeah. That's what I want to hear, Frank, as well. Seeing our boys ball out over there, right? They looked shocked, right? Every time Quentin Grimes, Deuce put those daggers, you could just hear the fans sigh, gasp, right there. It was nice to see, hear, salute, great insight into the arena tonight. Manchos says Mo is young and he has potential to be a starting center. Yep, absolutely as well. That's a name to watch for. And we love seeing Mr. Wesley super excited. He was juiced, right? He was juiced up. The whole squad was. Seeing RJ and Quickley just chest bump and embrace, dap each other up. That was lightning in a bottle. I wish I could just watch that over and over tonight. You could see the youthful energy, how excited they were, man. They've been waiting to burst out and show Tom Thibodeau, show us fans, show the world what this team could look like with each other with trust. When you trust them, you let them play their strengths, move the ball, get up and down. And it was on full effect tonight for the world to see. Jericho Sims, let's not leave him out as well, because he can hold his head up high. And speaking of Mitch, what I will say is the whole Jericho Sims thing, there's a reason they are giving him this kind of shine, just to see what it looks like as well, because they are bracing themselves, ladies and gentlemen, no doubts about it. They are bracing themselves for what this could look like by losing Mitch as well. And I think they're pretty high on Jericho. I think they're pretty high on it. The Knicks, we could get Wood for 15. If we could, that would be steal. They have no direction in Houston, and with the Knicks, that would be amazing. Yep. Yeah, Christian Wood can ball on the offensive end. He's got length defensively. That's going to be a name to watch for as well. But Nerlens Noel, let's see if they can move him on, man. They need to move that on ASAP. And Will says, I'd knock on Indy's door, of course, if Kyrie is unavailable, to see what the cost of Brogdon would be for like Burks, Noel in 2 seconds. It's a no-brainer. I feel like with Indy rebuilding, I feel like Brogdon, they're probably going to want some expiring deals. Like you said, Nerlens Noel, Burks are going to expire as well with 2 seconds as well. That'd be a steal. And Frank, our future is certainly bright. Let's keep building and trade the vets, Randall. And Mo fits the timeline, no lie. No lies there as well. That's another situation as well. Do you guys have any trust that Jericho Sims could one day be a starting center as well? That could be something that they could be factoring in. And hey, just put Grimes on some stilts, problem solved. Yeah, give him some high-rise shoes, But no, Grimes can get after it. He's pesky. One advantage of being 6'4" is that you can really get down low. Can really, really get those steals. Can be tough to penetrate against as well. That's why Quentin can contain the guard on penetration a lot of the times, right? He's a tough obstacle to get around. No lie. And he says I've been with that philosophy as well, building with youth and maybe landing on an elite free agent after over the next couple of years. Yep, exactly. Let's just build the right way organically and become more attractive every single year. So let these players develop, marinate, so that they become the attraction as well. Right now, we're hoping New York City is the attraction. New York Knicks are the attraction. But the true thing has to happen is that the Knicks players have to become the attraction for other players to want to come here and ball out with them, Something like Brooklyn was doing before the free agents went there. And Shah says, I'm not going to lie, Wood is having a great season. Last 5 games, he had 2 30 pieces, plus we're not getting him for 15 mil as well. So yeah, that's another option that continues, to be out there. But yeah, like he says, the front office are tight-lipped. They could be active this off season. Yep. And Frank, I wish I could rewatch what I saw there tonight. Yep. Just like I said, bottle it up, lightning in a bottle. We caught tonight, and let's hope, Frank, I think we're going to see a lot more of it. Let's be honest. These young players, they're talented, right? Tonight was no fluke. They played to their strengths. They played the way they could play, defensively, offensively, sharing the ball, playing smartly. I saw plays tonight, and players make reads they haven't made all season, right? Like you said, quickly, manipulating the switch so that he could end up on Strauss, so he can end up on Strauss and straight manipulate and abuse him all night long, right? How many times have we seen Immanuel Quickley do that? Jericho Sims was putting himself in nice positions, setting screens, the Obi Toppin dribble handoffs, you know, fake dribble handoffs, things like that. The offense just looked pretty tonight. It looked nice in that fourth quarter, before they started jacking threes, obviously, but getting stops, getting up and down. And to be honest, all I wanted from jump before Tibbs came to New York in the first place was to develop our youth. I'd rather win or lose with our young guys versus the vets and build our own grain. Yeah, absolutely right. I think a lot of fans feel the same way too, right? Because we've tried the other way for so many years. That's the thing too. We've tried signing the Marburys, Steve franchises, Antonio McDyess, the the other dudes, and it just hasn't got us to where we needed to be. You're recycling players, signing big name vets that haven't lived up to their potential, and we have patience now because we want to see what these young talented players can do, right? We see what Golden State did, the dynasty they've built, and at the end of the day, you can't microwave things in the NBA, I feel like. You just can't this day and age. There are only so many KDs, Kyries, LeBrons that go to a franchise and change that franchise from day one, right? There are only so many. You could count them on one hand, basically. So, like the smart move is for the Knicks to make their players they have more attractive, give them minutes, let them develop, let them develop winning habits and get familiarity playing with each other. And I think tonight was the right step in that direction. I think you could see the reactions after the game, the way they were dapping each other up, the excitement on their faces. Right, it told 1,000 words tonight. With Julius Randall, with other players on the sidelines. Kemba Walker ain't even with the team anymore. He's not even at the facility. A lot of failures this season, but we're sort of rekindling some of that, back with some of this young play as well. Nick Yak, good point. Sims can be 6'9", I think, without shoes. 6'9", good hops. But he's definitely a little undersized at times, lengthwise. And Knicks, are there any 6'6" point guards in the draft? I don't think in this draft. Jaden Ivey's 6'4", but next year there is some 6'6" guards as well. Absolutely, next year is going to be stacked as well. That's another thing that bears watching, in terms of this decision to build for the future. And if we get Wood, that means Randall is gone. So that's a possibility. Absolutely. Nick Yak quickly had ball in his hands all night and had 3 assists. That is his weakness. Absolutely. Yep. His tendency is to score the ball or manipulate, get to the cup for the floater, for the floater game as well. And the floater is back. Immanuel Quickley as well, getting penetration and getting that floater up and the foul, manipulating with the fouls. So, ladies and gents, what did you guys think about that? With Quickley, is he back? Is he back to his form from season 1, the rookie deal? He's manipulating fouls again in the right way, and he's also his floater game's back as well. So Salute to the man for getting in the gym. And the Knicks, Kemba, Rose, Taj, Noel, Randall, Burks, Evan, Mitch, all got to be gone up out of here as well. Yep, that makes up about six, 7, 8 players as well. I can agree with that. I think a few will stick around, but I think Taj, Evan might stick around. Rose might stick around. But yeah, the rest I could see out of here as well. May 4th, Sims, Grimes, McBride gives any young team fits. They just fit seamlessly. Yep. Let us read that again. Sims, with his size, athleticism, switchability on the perimeter. Quentin Grimes, his defense as well, his shot making. And Deuce McBride gives any young team fits. They just fit well. Yep. They hit in the draft, Just another reason to keep building through this draft, guys, ladies and gents. The future can be bright. We struck gold with potentially 3 to 4 rotation players in last draft. We just got to give them the roster spots. We got to give them the right ingredients to develop. And let's see, because we can seriously build nice winning habits. We could build what Miami has built with RJ Barrett's desire to fight on the defensive end and defend and win, play hard, practice every night. With Quickley, like you said, with Deuce, these guys have winning habits as well. That's what you want to see. Some of these other vets don't quite have the winning habits yet. They got paid, they're at the latter end of their careers, or at a middling part of their career. So I'm all for playing the dudes that are hungry. Salute Troy. Salute. We need Benedict or Sharp. Yep, I could see that. They're the dudes to go for. Absolutely. Shaden Sharp. All indications point he'll work out. Calipari might let him work out. If he gets a promise in the top 10, Shaden Sharp, it benefits the Knicks if he comes out in the draft, because it means more talent slides down if we can't get Sharp. And of course, Benedict, another wing that would fit nicely on this club. What does that mean for Cam Reddish, though? I don't know. Maybe trade piece, but some talent. Some talent, man. I can't wait for draft night. Let's see. I'd swing on a bigger tier free agent and then do a little trades, like to acquire Poole or Christian Wood for the Knicks. Yep. You're a bit on the Jordan Poole train all night long, and now Christian Wood as well. Christian Wood's contract situation is interesting, but he has talent for real. And Troy trade up. Trade up's the play. Trade up, definitely. I could see us trying to trade up. We have the pieces. I could also see us trading down if we can't get the talent we want. And Keith, salute. Great win. But it's like Miami gave up to avoid that number 1 seed. It feels that way. I think Heat got a little bit of things going on, Keith. I think they got a bit of tiredness ending towards the end of this season, a bit of dysfunction. I think all contenders go through that bump in the road. I think Miami's just hitting that finish line at the end of this season. I think they sort of just mailed it in the 4th once they saw how hard we were playing defensively. Like I said, they're a bit old. Kyle Lowry. I think they're going to come back to regret that. I think I'm glad the Knicks didn't pay Kyle Lowry that much money, because that's a lot. And Shah says what Maturin looks good, and he about 6'6". Yep, absolutely facts. He's a real difference maker on both ends, right? That's the kind of talent that would look crazy next to Star J Barrett up in here. And Nick Yak, how bad was up 3 with 3 minutes left? Quickly goes ISO chucking after dribbling for 23 seconds after the ball was moving well. A terrible play by Tibbs. Yep, there was some head scratching moments, but they're a young team still learning, I think. And I think they'll get better from that performance. But yeah, the Heat definitely could have stole this game back from us, right? They got back to within 3. And I think the Heat had many, many missed opportunities, but yeah, they just mailed it in tonight. And a man shot, is there a chance Sharp stays in school? Yeah, I think there is, Manchild, but I think it's very unlikely, because you always go back to the money. I think if any team in the top 10 promises Sharp, he's going to come out, no lie. And I think his family, and coming back to college would be a risk because of the money. You take that money anytime you can get guaranteed first round lottery pick money. I think it's all posturing to try to weasel Sharp to a desired destination, I think. So look out for that, ladies and gentlemen. They're playing poker with Kentucky right now, with Calipari throwing subliminals out there as well. That he's threatening to let Sharp come back, or make Sharp come back, instead of let him out. But I feel like once he gets in a workout with a team or two, maybe from the 4 to 8 range, if one or two teams he likes, they work out for him, I think it's a wrap. Yeah, I think they'll just say, hey, I'm taking this kid. Absolutely. We could honestly bring Donovan or Murray or SGA with Poole and Christian Wood with our young core. We'd be in the playoffs. We'd definitely be cooking with fish grease with that situation as well. And that's another reason to be patient. Let's just keep building and let it happen organically. Let these big stars come to us when we're attractive enough. And both Sharp and Benedict are Canadians. Salute Manchild up in there. Yep, I can see that's a nice connection they got with RJ. Could it be? And Wood's a little bit more of a power forward, small ball center. Shah definitely. He's 6'9" ish. He's skinny. He's skinny as well. And Joseph, salute fan. What's good? What's good? Heat Fans podcast gave props to Jericho for his physicality tonight and the young kids playing fast. Yep, that's nice to hear that. Appreciate that update. And how could they not, man? They got outplayed. They got straight outplayed. Their lunch got taken from them on their home floor. And that's not what a Heat fan base and a Heat team are used to seeing. Up against it late in the season. They've got title aspirations. The New York Knicks young core just played hungrier as well. Like I said, you cage someone up for long enough, they're going to come out crazy. They're going to come out angry. And I think this Obi, Grimes, Deuce, RJ, Sims connection with Taj, these dudes that want to play a certain way, I think tonight's their chance to show why they've felt certain ways about not getting minutes, and Obi being one of them. And I think they're playing with a huge chip on their shoulder, no lie. Brother, salute. What's good, brother? Hey, CT, it was great win. Knicks, absolutely. Knicks 2 in a row. Unfortunately, we'll be out in the play-in, but we could try to win for the draft picks. Thanks for my boy IQ and the younguns. Yep, youngsters partying up in South Beach as well. Great win all overall, brother. Like you said, players boosting their trade stock, boosting their confidence, boosting their motivation to play with each other. I think it's going to be nice to see what happens in the next 8 games. Brother, let's salute. Let's see what happens. And Nick Yak Murray was not shopped during trading deadline, but would they trade him in the off season? That's a good question, Nick Yak. That's a situation where you're right. A lot of teams do hold on to the off season just to see what they can get, because it's awkward. It's awkward making trades at the deadline. Some teams don't want to go all the way in. There's only 20 something games after the trade deadline as well. So the trade season really is really in the off season. And done Knicks, salute. Sorry for all the same trade ideas. I'm just tired of the Knicks to lose out on all these players and just want to see other teams do blockbusters and we lose out just to hope the offseason works in our favor. Yep, no need to be sorry at all. This is what we do. We chop it up, we throw scenarios, and we talk about it. And the Knicks have multiple ways to build, like you say. I too am tired of seeing people seeing us lose out on those difference makers as well. I want us to be all in on the difference makers, the sort of mediocre talents that need to be paid but don't really take you to a title. I'm okay waiting. I'm okay passing on them. Just in favor of building through the draft. And Keith, I still get mad with the Knicks that we didn't take Halliburton in that draft. Can you imagine if we had him now? yeah, look, at the end of the day, I think Halliburton definitely is proven to be, that piece that could definitely taken this team to a different level. Yeah, it's another situation where the Knicks, their evaluators, Leon chose the family situation closer. I think the the intel on Obi as well. The Knicks says Christian Wood 6'10", but he's got a huge wingspan as well that he allows him to play the 5 spot a bit more. But yeah, he's not a traditional center as well. And salute Shah, salute, let's get it. Much love, always. Let's get it. Um, let's continue to chop this thing up. 8 games left. Of course, it looks like the Knicks season will end against Toronto. The New York Knicks won't make the play-in. 8 games to go, 5-game out of the 10th spot. But we're focusing on the draft prospects we like. We're focusing on the future and building this thing slowly, building it for the right situation, being patient, developing the players we have, let them grow, see what they can become, reach their ceiling, right? How many times have we let a young Knicks prospect reach their ceiling with us versus another team as well? And that's why I'm like with Quickley, with Obi, just keep these players around for their rookie contract just to see which one of them can pop with development, with minutes. I think we can give them all the chances to pop. And Nick Yak, we will most likely sign Brunson and draft a point guard with Cam having training camp and McBride. Yeah, I think the Brunson things, the move up their sleeve, it makes sense, like you say, with the sign and trade. And I think, yeah, that's definitely the one to look out for in the offseason to solidify the point guard spot. It does seem like the fan base is torn on Jalen Brunson. The salary, the skill set, the size. Defensively, he can get abused. He obviously has some positives. He's experienced, got floor general abilities. He's a veteran. He'd come to New York motivated. His father would probably join the coaching staff. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think the Knicks have better options, though. It's interesting to see, is Brunson just a fallback option like Kemba Walker was a fallback option? Do they go for Sexton? Do they try to go for the home run first before going to the Brunson move? Let's see. And brother, unfortunately, we don't know who we get in the draft pick. Absolutely, yeah, it's a crapshoot. When we watch in the March Madness, we don't know who we get to be part of the Knicks, who we get and who we got. Yeah, it's a crapshoot, I think. But brother, best player available. Let's see where we fall. Of course, we need to wait for the draft lottery, May. I think it's May 24th. Yeah, let's see. Hopefully, luck smiles on the New York Knicks, and we can finally get into the top 4. That would be crazy. There'd be parties on in front of the Garden as well. It'll be parties for days if the Knicks could get into the top 4 to make this season even better. To get more out of this season. Joseph Taj played well. Yep, great instincts, fundamentals, listens to the young guys. He deserves Kenny Payne's spot. Spot on. Yep. I think, yeah, Taj is going to be around, right? If Tibbs is around, definitely Taj is staying around. And the Knicks, salute. Thanks for all your insights. Salute to you. Yeah, all Knicks fans up in here strong. Appreciate your contribution. Great points, takes. Let's get it. And Joseph, yep, development is the direction. I agree. That's the way I'd love to see this thing go. We're not closer to winning a chip this season, unfortunately, but with players under our contracts, and moves we can make, I think the Knicks can move closer to winning a chip in the next couple of years. Right, we have a blank slate, and we're just waiting for dudes to pop. We've got RJ Barrett, a foundational piece. We've got options we can do with Julius. Maybe the Mitch sign and trade. Let's see. And like the Nick says, not sold on Brunson. The 20 mil is interesting. Troy also, Brunson would be another L as well. Like Keith says, we have no cap space too. And Nick Yak, 8 games left and shooting 50% as a point guard is a problem for me. And Vaughn, salute. What's going on? Love how you on the late night grind. Much respect. I appreciate it, fam. It was Friday night. The feeling's right. Saturday morning. The New York Knicks, we're going to miss games at the end of the day. I went through some stretches this season where I wasn't as excited watching games, but now we got 8 games left. We're going to miss the orange and blue in the off season. So I'm just trying to make the most of these 8 games. Enjoy seeing these players, improve each game. Hopefully, continue to see them get more minutes, put in different positions as well, so we can chop up some film in the summer as well. May's around the corner, the draft lottery. June's going to be coming thick and fast. March Madness, enjoying that as well. So yeah, just enjoying all of this as well, chopping it up with all of you. On that note, we'll get ready to wrap it up, for this show. But it's been fun. Like I said, the Knicks picked up a potentially monumental win tonight as well for the future in terms of the way they did it. So not just an ordinary win. Make no mistake, this wasn't just a win for a win. This was a situation where the young players will gain confidence. There'll be tangible film to show how the Knicks can play with different pieces, a la Randall out of the game, what we could look like with a different point guard, Jericho playing at the center spot, Obi playing as well. And I think, you guys have just hit the nails on almost all of your points, and in terms of defensively winning tonight as well, our two-way players on full effect. So that's what has me the most excited, ladies and gents, guys. Playing with two-way players is exciting to watch, right? You're genuinely excited to see a defensive possession as well as an offensive possession, right? Some of the things we did tonight on defense had you sort of in astonishment, because making the right rotation, athletically, the steals, getting up and down, they're playing strong, gritty, not getting punked by Miami like last time. We're learning and we're growing. And with that said, salute everyone out here in the chat. Let's get it on the next one. And like possibility, man, child, they could shut Randall down. D Rose could be another one, possibly shut him down as well. But yeah, everyone have a great weekend as well. Saturday, enjoy it. Let's get it. Sunday against Detroit. I think that's going to be a really exciting game with two young squads getting up and down as well. And we'll be back then. And let's get it. Peace. Streets are buzzing as always. And I'll see you soon.